clip. Lurking in the smoke, well done. Round of applause.
Welcome to Orlando Speed World, or welcome back after we had a very wet and tumultuous qualifying. We saw dry, we saw wet. We are feeling the humidity. It's 70% humidity, feels like 85, it's sticky, but we are here at Scorched Orlando, round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship. Thank you to Greg Bussell for our grid walk, kicking things off. Yeah, I'm getting reports. Greg is being escorted off of property. Again, he's an eager fan. He wants to find out, get all the dirt. He is sweaty and ready, and so are we. Orlando Speed World, thank you so much, as we are excited to, again, introduce you to maybe the first time watching this, maybe the 100th time, but as we are celebrating our 23rd season of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is all thriller, no filler. It's a pro round of competition. I'm Jared Dienda. Joining me here is Jacob Gettens, the blue beanie, the teal toque, and host of the Outer Zone podcast. For any and all info, past, present, and future, check out the Outer Zone podcast with Jacob Gettens as your host. What an interesting qualifying yesterday. Again, the Wally, the third round, and the introduction as we have gone back to the 2 non-consecutive qualifying runs and utilizing the race data labs technology, which I think is a great addition to it, as we saw Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo, and his Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota Supra on Kenda tires get that third spot.
Yeah, did a great job. And I think the drivers that have done the best in qualifying have just kind of gone back to just driving really, really hard, forgetting about the Wally system, laying down.
Don't think about the Wally, just drive.
Just drive. And Cole Richards did that as well. Second in qualifying, an incredible, incredible run. Now, some of the back and forth comes from the weather. Drivers had runs that were complete boats. Like it was wild out there. Some of it was completely dry, but Chris Forsberg taking the top spot in qualifying, super well deserved. What a phenomenal run.
Yeah, talking to him, he's super stoked. He likes the Wally, and think about this, he's one of the OGs, him and Ken Gushi, since 04. He's seen many different iterations of judging technology, basically just seeing all the different judges go through.
Yeah.
He's liking this because, again, utilizing technology, 80%, 80 points of the 100, 20 is defected to the human judges for style. It's a great compliment to where we are in the world. Chris Forsberg is your #1 qualifier. He'll go against number 32 qualifying Daniel Stuke. You can see all the different matchups. I think notably, it's James the Machine Deane, your 5-time and defending champion, going against our current points leader, another countryman from Ireland, Connor Shanahan. That is a big battle. That's going to be one to watch. That is 12th battle going through the heats. Also notably, Ryan Tuerck has officially announced he is hanging up his helmet for an entire Formula Drift season. He's saying, look, I'm no longer competing in the entirety of a Formula Drift championship. So a bit of a farewell tour, like a punk rock band or a rock and roll band saying like, hey, it's not goodbye, it's see you later. Many different projects. I know I'm going to see him at Goodwood, many different things. So excited to see what he's got going on. Other heats to watch.
Yeah, Bakchis, Simon Olsen, former teammates. They currently sit, they've had 9 battles. Bakchis with 5 wins, Simon with 4, James Deane, Connor Shanahan, we covered that one. And Frederick Aasbo, Rudy Hansen, I think is another big one. I mean, Frederick Aasbo needs a bit of revenge, lost to Rudy in Atlanta. He's got to get that back, and yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. Big for the points as well. Aasbo up there in our points race, so he needs to get this done and get Rudy off his back.
2 of the big nerve-wracking moments in Formula Drift weekend. Qualifying and top 32. You know how instrumental it is to make it into 16. You can kind of exhale that big, you can feel it. You know, like, again, the hair stands up on your arms when you're on that start line. I said it yesterday and it bears repeating. Tanner Faust, a Formula Drift champion, J.R. Hildebrand, Indy 500 racer. They said one of the most stressful moments in motorsports is qualifying and competing in 32 in Formula Drift. So it bears repeating. This is a look at our Pro and Pro Spec Championship. Stafford, Indy, Vegas, those are our Pro Spec rounds. But you can see new venues, similar locations, but again, 3 new venues: Stafford, Connecticut, Indy Raceway Park, and Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Peppered in, of course, with Evergreen Speedway, the Pacific Northwest, you know, really a close second favorite for me for Atlanta. And we end things where it begins, Long Beach, as we take a look back at the kickoff of the season. Diego Higa, welcome back, Brazil. I know Leticia Bafani, she's here in the building cheering on her fellow Brazilian countrymen.
Yeah, a great return for him after taking that break, and did such an amazing job. And we see Ryan Tuerck and Brandon Sorensen. I mean, Brandon in practice earlier today has been absolutely crushing it. Manoa, not at this round, but he definitely showed up when he came out to Long Beach and kind of picking up where he left off. And yeah, Aasbo ended up getting the win on him. But yeah, Long Beach was just so much fun.
Long Beach always delivers. That's what it really comes down to. Everybody asks about, there's so many different facets to a great round. Obviously the drivability, the drivers, the cars, they're fresh off of an off season, a silly season, come back and throw into the most unforgiving track in the entirety of the season. Of course, when we go back to Long Beach at round 8, the Shoreline Showdown. But the fans are educated. They know what to expect. They know what to anticipate. And of course, that Southern California weather, unarguably, probably some of the best weather we see all season.
Yeah.
The Shanahan bros, both on the box. Jack Shanahan, Connor Shanahan. Again, there's something in the water in Cork, Ireland. And can we just bottle that and sell that?
I tried. I drank a bunch when I was there. I'm no better of a drifter, but something's going on. It ultimately, I mean, it came down to an all RTR final at the end. James Deane taking out Rad Dan on that run, and there's Ryan Tuerck again. I mean, he's having some great runs. He's getting close. He's just not able to really take it all the way to the box. But yeah, at some point in time in this season, I really do think he's going to get there.
Yeah, I think he wants to do it for his family, for his fans, and just, again, announcing this is his farewell tour of the Formula Drift Championship. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. But like you said, an all RTR, eyes were on the prize. Some of those fans are just laser focused. But it was Vaughn Gittin Jr., 2010 and 2020 championship. Ryan Egger said it this morning, 2030, Vaughn's coming back. He's going to be, he only does it, he's like Halley's Comet. He does it only every 10 years.
I see that, that makes sense.
RTR, ready to rock. He's down there competing the Baja 500. We wish you good luck, you and the Fun Haver and the RTR off-road team. Here's where the standings are at. Plenty of tires to burn, plenty of rounds of competition to gain some ground on the 1-2 Ireland drivers. Connor Shanahan, James Deane, Bakchis sits there in 3rd. Brandon Sorensen quietly sits there in 4th. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in 5th, and he'll go down there. Cole Richard, Shanahan, Aasbo, Dylan Hughes, Chris Forsberg. And speaking of Shanahan, bringing another member of our broadcast team, the lovely and pleasant New Hampshire's own Lorette Nickel. Lorette.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, fans. So excited to be here in Orlando. Connor Shanahan, my goodness. I mean, the talking point is the weather. Your Irish blood, how are you handling this heat and humidity?
Yeah, Irish boys definitely weren't born for this heat. It's humid, it's hot, the weather's changing a lot. It's a tiring weekend, not just for me, for the whole team, but yeah, it's cool. Good memories here, so trying to keep the good spirits alive, and exciting battle coming up, but yeah, for sure the weather's a challenge.
For sure. So you drivers have always told me top 32 battle is the most stressful, and now you are facing James Deane, who is an absolute monster behind the wheel. So are you. But how do you make sure that you move into top 16?
Yeah, this is a big one. I think the mindset of top 32 kind of goes away now. It's full in, tanks wide open. I think James is in the same boat, so it sucks that it's that early. Yeah, last night just kind of didn't piece together. We got really unlucky with the rain run at in the storm at the first run, and then the second run. We weren't really focusing massively in qualifying coming into this race. We know that a lot of battles are won here, by battles and chase driving, so we weren't overly working towards qualifying. For sure we didn't plan to be that far down the order, but it is what it is. James came out, and it's either going to be the best day of my life or it's going to be one of the worst. So yeah, it can go in our favour for a championship race. It can also affect us massively. 1-2 in points, one of us goes out, someone's going to take a big lead. So hopefully it's me taking the lead. I know James, and I've raced him for a long time now, and the last time we drove here, I beat him in the final after one more time, so hopefully we can keep that going and advance through to the top 16.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're preparing for a top 32 battle, but it should actually be the finals, how do you take this step by step?
Yeah, I think it kind of changes. As I said, doesn't feel like a top 32. We just have to approach it as if this is a final. Yeah. We know that James is not going to back down. I'm chasing first, so we need to try go out there, go tense, and do the best chaser that we can, and hopefully we can put a good lead run down, and my chase is a little bit better. That's the plan. I think top 32 idea goes out the window right now. It's going to be records or checkers. That's kind of the plan, the goal going in here. And yeah, me and Matt just said it's wide open from the get-go. There's no real strategy right now. It's just let the best driver win and go full in, and hopefully that's us.
Yeah, well, Connor, best of luck. And as you guys might remember, this guy right here in 2024 took his first win in Orlando, looking to do that again. Long way to go, but best of luck.
Thank
Connor.
you.
Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. As we take a look at the track, it is flowing really, really well. When you have dry conditions, Jacob, you said it, it seems like the track gets faster and faster.
Yeah, we've been picking up a little bit of speed all the way through practice, but this is what it looks like outside zone 1, and that is your big bank right after initiation. You've got 2 zones after that. Those are inside zones. The judge is saying there's a pretty gradual decel all the way from outer zone, at the end of outer zone 1, all the way to the end of zone 3, but they're allowing you to do a quick decel correction on transition between 2 and 3, and then outside zone 4, that is on the lower bank to wrap things up. It seems like a simple track, but it does lead to the best tandem I think we see all year.
Yeah.
Leads to some insane battles. I mean, whenever we talk about the best battles of all time, it always comes up to Orlando, but qualifying last night all led off by the Wally system, and we got a little bit of information on that.
Yeah, the Wally's a great addition, utilizing the technology that Race Data Labs has created. We have nicknamed it Wally, hence the name. It's a robot, and of course we want to stick it to the wall. How is Wally being utilized here in head-to-head? It's just an aid. It's showing you the telemetry. It's showing you the speed. Just like baseball, you're tapping helmets, you're getting the numbers, you're getting the digits, you're getting the angles. So our 3 human judges, this particular round will introduce you them shortly, but they're utilizing it to see the telemetry of the vehicle. It is no longer a judge, it's an aid. It's a device to be utilized in addition to obviously with their own 2 eyes or 6 eyes in this case. So again, utilizing those outside zones, that big one, again, that was qualifying. That was yesterday. Again, that was a huge percentage, a 5th overall of your points yesterday, of course, and then that power alley inside zone 1 and 2 of the rectangles, and then finding that crease. So let's take a look at Race Data Labs and the Wally system.
If you are new to Formula Drift or a seasoned fan, you probably have noticed that the most significant and game-changing element of this season has to do with that little dial right here, here, and also this here. For most of drifting's history, fans could only see what happened. Now, we can measure it. Say hello to Wally, Formula Drift's advanced telemetry and vehicle dynamics platform. Built exclusively by Race Data Labs, Wally was designed specifically for one of motorsports' most complex disciplines, drifting. Every car is equipped with an advanced sensor package capable of measuring position, movement, speed, acceleration, rotation, and vehicle dynamics in real time. But Wally doesn't just track where a car is. It understands how a car moves. The system can locate a vehicle to within approximately 1 centimeter and measure drift angle with accuracy better than 2 degrees. Every run is sampled at up to 100 times per second, creating a detailed digital record of every moment on track. Throttle changes, braking inputs, acceleration, deceleration, angle, line, proximity, all measured, all recorded, all available for analysis. But what makes Wally unique is that it was specifically built for drifting. Every Formula Drift competition vehicle is digitally modeled, creating a precise virtual representation of the car. And this allows the system to not only understand where the GPS antenna is located, but exactly where the vehicle itself exists in space, down to the wheels, bodywork, and critical reference points used during competition, like inside zones and outside zones. The result is a level of precision never before seen in professional drifting. During qualifying, Wally can verify how closely a driver follows a prescribed course while maintaining speed and angle. And it's worth noting that Wally is the fundamental reason why qualifying could come back in 2-run format in the first place, because Wally can perform judging mechanics like line and angle at many times faster than a human judge, making it possible to fit into a weekend with 2 championship series. During tandem competition, Wally can analyze closing rates, acceleration differences, vehicle placement, and proximity between competitors with extraordinary detail. And perhaps most importantly, Wally doesn't rely on artificial intelligence to make decisions. There is no black box, no hidden algorithm. Instead, objective data is processed through transparent procedures established by Formula Drift and Race Data Labs. And then the last layer is taking that data directly from the system and putting it right into the broadcast for all the fans to see. The goal is not to replace human judgment. Judges, tandeming side by side, style, these are all the things that make the sport sexy, and we never want them to go away. The goal is not to take that away. The goal is to provide measurable facts, to support consistency, to increase transparency, and to give officials, teams, drivers, and fans a deeper understanding of what actually just happened on track. For decades, drifting has been judged by what we can see, but now for the first time, we can measure it. And this very much is the future of Formula Drift.
At the limit, performance tells the truth. From the drift track to off-road to the open road, Kenda engineers its tires where failure is not an option. Vesda Performance, Cleaver all-terrain, one engineering standard, professional grade, from the podium to the pavement. Kenda, find your retailer at kendatire.com.
Through this lens, I catch details others might pass right by. Some might see a car. I see tuners taking care of what they love. The care poured into every engine. The trust in Pennzoil to keep it running strong. This moment, these drivers, the machine under this hood, that's what lasts.
Engine protection for the lifetime of your vehicle. Pennzoil, long may we drive. Available at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With the Canon Image ProGraph Pro 1100 professional photo printer, my images come alive in print. What I see through my lens is what you see on the wall. Vivid, detailed, and accurate.
Something has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there. Just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven. Performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2026.
We are moments away as we can see Chelsea Denofa, former Formula Drift champion there, parlaying his cars next to the BC Racing booth. And here is how the brackets are laying out. We talked about it on the top end of the show, and great piece of information, a bevy of information elaborating on Wally and the Race Data Labs technology. Thank you to Ryan Sage, our president of Formula Drift, for elaborating on that. As we take a look, as the pits are definitely empty because they're making their way to the stands. Also, speaking of the stands, be courteous and kind with your umbrella. Don't impede on the view of your fellow Formula Drift fans. As we look at our next bets, if you're a betting man, go ahead, place your bets. James Deane with the highest percentage, and obviously the odds are stacked with him. So again, maybe go for the dark horse. Maybe it's Chris Forsberg. Again, he's driving definitely back to his championship form here in Orlando. Matt Sopa, our starter, on the start line. Let's send it for the first time here in 2026. The Destin Industries all new Z out front. Daniel Stuke ripping on down in that initiation era. All Kenda tires on track as Chris Forsberg almost brings up to the green wall. Big angle, Daniel Stuke tucking in nicely, slamming down into that transition in that first inside zone. Now going to second through the power alley. Daniel Stuke drops back. He does gain some proximity, has to back off, and then Chris Forsberg sets sail right inside that crease, right where that bank meets the flat portion of the Orlando Speed World track. Great placement in the outside zone 4.
Yeah, really confident all the way through for Chris Forsberg. He's kind of in this set it and forget it. I mean, really like cruise mode. And it looks really, really good on him. As soon as he gets an outside zone 1, He's got that car set up, and he's really not making a lot of adjustments. Stuke trying to find his way into the pocket to get himself situated. He's doing a great job of getting that surge in there. He just want to kind of hold his spot. So coming through zone 3, does a good job, and then coming through 4, this is really where we want him to close up the gap. Chris provides such a great lead run all the way around, and I think Stuke had really, really good proximity. It's just that last little bit of commitment just to hold it there for the entire time. So I'm liking the way Stuke's driving, a little bit more aggression in there, really trying to push the pace. And Chris, I mean, the photo kind of shows it. He's just relaxed.
Yeah, he's really chill. Again, we joke about his affinity for sailing that I never knew. I've known the dude for 24 years. He is starboard right now, man. As Daniel Stuke from Minnesota, Forsberg and I will be in Minnesota next weekend at Brainerd Raceway at Octane Auto Fest as Kenda Tires, S Chassis, Daniel Stuke initiates. Forsberg giving a little bit of room here, but he drops down. And Stuke initiates. He definitely straightens up. That will impede the outcome of this run, and I think that was good strategy for Forsberg to maybe give him some room, because that could definitely be detrimental. If he was closer and straightened out like that, contact could have been made. So again, was that strategy? Was that a hiccup? Regardless, Stuke independently made that mistake in the lead run. You saw him straighten out. So let's run it back. It looks like they both had some simple little mistakes, but in that lead position, that is critical.
Yeah, for Stuke, I mean, really good aggression on the first part. Tries to get that car all the way up, but unfortunately, being on that lower line at the beginning, he's trying to force the car out even wider to fill the rest of the zone. It leads him into catching the wall. Chris does a great job of adapting. Would like to see Chris maybe a little bit more aggressive through here, but you just don't know. You see your driver catch the wall. You don't know if their alignment is messed up. I understand why Chris would be further back. I just hope that it doesn't come back to bite him. So he had a really good lead run, but
I think it was a happy accident, to be honest. Again, started low, stayed down there. So here we go, Robin Ishida, and there we go. So again, Chris Forsberg gets the win and moves on to the top 16. That Destin Industries all-new Z advances on Daniel Stuke. Just like that, knocked out top 32. We will see you at our next round of competition. So Forsberg, it's always nice. I mean, you know, you kind of want to just go, like, out the gate. That's what's great is, right, you know, you look at the bottom right-hand corner, Ryan Tuerck and Tommy Lemaire. I feel like Tuerck's always kind of down there in that bottom right-hand section as of recent. I'm talking about brackets as it lays out for the map, the road map. Federico Sceriffo and Kenshiro Gushi. Federico Sceriffo parking his iconic Fiorella, the Ferrari, and this car, and this man together is definitely a winning formula for Federico Sceriffo, as Kenshiro Gushi, again, the OG, piloted many different cars, has been working with Toyota for quite some time, is such a great spokesperson for the GR, the Gazoo racing vehicle. He's rocking that GR86. And again, that ready Toyota GR86 on the Kenda Tires and the Pennzoil. Long may we drive. BMW chasing him down. Bright yellow sliding banana, yes sir. Wow. Drops into formation, Gushi across the nose. I'll tell you, Federico, this BMW, a match made in Italian-German heaven. Coming down into that, and Fetty, just as I say that, goes off course. I mean, there is a ton of smoke coming off the back end of Gushi's car. That is the downside of it being so dry. There's a lot of smoke being kicked off in the face of Federico Sceriffo. I believe he got lost in the smoke, maybe a combination of coming down in that transition off the bank into the flat, but that transition across the nose of the BMW, well-calculated timing by the Italian pilot.
Yeah, it was looked like something dumped off his front tire there for a second. Maybe, hopefully it's just water caught up in the bumper or something, but...
he saw that?
Yeah, something poured out. I'm hearing engine holding rev. I'm not sure what that's about. That's really strange. I mean, yeah, that's, I'm hearing that the high idle is normal. Okay, so we're good there. But yeah, that was definitely a weird one. Ken Gushi had a really, really aggressive initiation, and then Federico Sceriffo, I mean, he was right there. Like, he was like bumper to bumper, and that was probably one of the best chase initiations I've ever seen out of Fede. Man, that was nuts. Hopefully we get a replay of that at some point, but they're kind of lined him back up here now.
Yeah, quickly goes to the line, so I think just a bit of a fumble, unfortunately, by Federico Sceriffo. Here's our racer replay.
Yeah,
right in the pocket.
Yeah, Fede's doing such a good job, and he comes off the bank a little bit late. He's in the smoke here for a long time, and I think that's maybe what happened. He just kind of lost track of where he was and shot it off track. So, but I think we're good to go now. We did did catch Carson, one of the workers on Rome's team, let us know that that is normal, that high idle is something that they've got built into the car.
Yeah, it just came absolutely unwound, so I think it's a combination of just, again, he was high on the bank. You saw him hit that cone indicator there of that that first outside zone. Gushi giving him some room here. This could be strategy very comparable to that of Chris Forsberg, but Federico Sceriffo, the bumper, looks like he's knocking off, but look at that, just, you can't even see Ken Gushi coming off that bank into that first inside zone. Give himself some room, and you got to think, Ken Gushi doesn't need to push that hard because he has that major mistake, let's call it an incomplete by Federico in the chase position. So this is going to be an easy win for Kenshiro Gushi, with Fede unfortunately making a major mistake on that first run.
Yeah, and it makes it that much harder to watch this, knowing how good Fede did out in the lead here. I mean, he's got such a great line all the way through that first outside zone. Coming off the bank, he's still on throttle, more angle, does a great job of using the angle to scrub the speed of it without like coming off the throttle. Tons of commitment. Look at the angle he starts to pour on through the rest of this run. I mean, fantastic job for Fede. Yeah, 51-degree average angle. I mean, if that was qualifying, that's going to be up there as one of the best angle scores we've seen. So great job, and that's, once again, that's the hard part with this whole thing, is you just know that unfortunately it's probably not going to go his way after a big mistake in the chase. But what I like, though, is it's really pushing this narrative of how great of a driver he is when everything's coming together. And Long Beach had a bit of an issue with, I think it was a wastegate that came off. Atlanta, he had a good run, but yeah, he is just buried in smoke. And I think he either just mistimed it or had to bail out. He wasn't sure where he was.
Yeah, it totally came unwound there. And again, leaning on that telemetry on the right side of your screen, you're seeing the proximity, you're seeing the angle, and filling the zones. You see Z1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the zones. It's really simple. 2 outside zones, and in the middle, you got those inside zones. Here we go. Slide him left for Ken Gushi, or right for Fede. And there it is. Kenshiro Gushi gets the win in that Greddy Motul Toyota GR86. Federico Sceriffo and his Pennzoil BMW is knocked out as the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32 continues. Our drivers already pulling up to the start line. We are looking at Brandon Sorensen and Rome Charpentier, aka RCP. Brandon Sorensen, 22 years old. What a talent he is. Again, Amanda Sorensen, who competes in the Pro Spec Championship. In his ear, there is a trio of Sorensen drivers. Their younger brother, Cameron Sorensen, competes in the Pro Spec Championship as well. Rome Charpentier, a lot of garagistic vehicles over the years have competed in FD, but now the garagistic boss man initiates in tow of that more modern BMW. Rome Charpentier not letting him go away. What a contrast of vehicles, color, new, old, age, all of it, but it doesn't matter as Rome Charpentier lunges forward in that power alley. He throws the hooks into him and tries to gain ground on the young talent. Rome Charpentier giving him some little breathing room there as they cross the finish line. That is definitely because you come unwound. So again, real quick, for those fans in the building that have umbrellas, be courteous of your fellow Formula J fans.
Solid lead run here for Brandon Sorensen in practice. He laid down some of the best runs we've seen actually all weekend, and we'll get into it when he gets into the chase of it, because his chase game this weekend has been incredible. But lead out front, really good. Rome does a great job of really mimicking everything that's going on with Brandon. He's following his line super well all the way through these zones. And now I get this super cool drone angle, love that. And yeah, Brandon does a great job of really using every single bit of the track to get the car lined up. He's going all the way to the track edge, gets that transition done, and that sets him up really well. So loving to see, I just love to see how he kind of utilizes every tool that he's got. We're going to swap it around now. Rome out front. Brandon's chase game in practice has been absolutely top tier. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that holds up here.
Yeah, I mean, he is just really developed as a driver. He's in the workshop. He's working his car, developing parts. They are constantly behind the wheel, if it's digital or actual. He is definitely a busy guy. All right, here, the garagistic BMW, Rome Charpentier, the garagistic pedal commander, BMW high on the bank, that green tail, and you just talked about it, Jacob, and there he is, coming to fruition, tucking into that smoke-filled hot pocket. Now going that last outside zone, Brandon gains that proximity, and look at him, it erupts the crowd here in Orlando. You gotta love it. Brandon Sorensen, just the maturity as a driver, progressing every year. This guy will be a champion at some point.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, his battle with Connor 2 years ago was arguably one of the best sets of battles we've ever seen, and he's gotten that much better. Brandon has so much patience here, waiting for the transition, because it's a bit of a long transition there from Rome, and then gets back on the throttle, back into the pocket, gets the nose of that car in, gets it stalled up, and he is on a little bit less angle, but he keeps that proximity all the way around. And he was deeper than Rome was through that first outside zone. Look at this. He's got that car absolutely lined up. He's all the way to the wall, kind of hoping that Rome's going to go back there with him. Rome's got a really solid lead run all the way through. Like, it's nothing to shake a stick at. It's a solid run from Rome Charpentier. But yeah, Brandon's chase game is one that's, I think, is going to be talked about all weekend.
Yeah, like you said, I think it was a good compromise. He didn't mimic the angle. So again, that's something where we're going to utilize, and that when I say we, the judges are going to utilize that mimic degree. So slide him left for Brandon Sorensen, over right for Rome Charpentier. And that was a hard-fought battle, but I got to tell you, I agree with the judges. Brandon Sorensen gets the win, taking out RCP. So great driving by both the drivers. Unfortunately, I think Brandon just had that little scotch of aggression and in that pocket. So congratulations to Brandon Sorensen, moving on top 16. We throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with our #1 qualifier, Chris the Force Forsberg.
Cutie, he just got an autograph from Chris Forsberg. And Chris, first of all, congratulations. #1 qualifier. It's 10 years in the making.
Well, we haven't had qualifying for the past, 5, so that's
right, you're right,
a little bit.
Yeah. You're 100% right. You're totally right. With this Orlando track, it can be really tricky, and the temperature out there right now, you think it's about 160, so what does that do for your setup?
We've been watching the track temps. I didn't ask for going into the last battle. I just let the guys kind of make the setting for what we needed for top 32. But yeah, this is like the hottest part of the day. The track temps are up. It's the loosest the track will be all day. And we're watching the weather. We see a little bit of a front coming in that we might see in the next 20, 30 minutes. Might miss us, might not. But we have a large break until we go again. But yeah, with Orlando, it's all about setup. There's only 2 turns, a constant radius, and it's also the weather that you're dealing with. It's either extremely hot or it's extremely wet. So you have to make sure the car's 100%.
Okay, so it looks like the car is 100%.
It's doing good.
Thank you so much, Lorette. And even, again, you can hear the audio. It is so hot, man. I was sitting down there just cranking a cigar, watching the fans. They kind of had to find some refuge in their air conditioning. So again, we want you to stay cool, stay hydrated, reapply the sunscreen, and grab a rock star and keep the party going as we are to reboot here with Cody Buchanan and Wataru Masuyama, the Evangelion and Juku Racing, BC Racing 86. But Cody Buchanan, a Formula Drift Pro rookie, initiates. Look at that angle there. You can see with Cody Buchanan with 50 degrees of angle now coming in. Wataru Masuyama into that power alley, jumps out of the smoke and tries to gain some ground against Buchanan, and he does, slowly and surely tucks in next to that 350Z and gets into that crease, both the drivers. So again, just pretty clean, pretty clinical as far as nothing super sensational. Ran through the course. We saw with Rome and Sorensen tucked in really quick.
Yeah, I really like the initiation that Cody has been doing. He did it in qualifying, comes really far down, low on the bank, and slings that car up and catches it at the last minute. We talked about it last night, but this is only his second banked event that he's ever done, and he's come into his own really quickly. Wataru Masuyama does a great job. Both with the mimicry, starts to worm that car in just a little bit, wiggles it into the side of Cody's car. Fantastic job in the chase. Would like to see him a little bit closer through some of these inside zones. It's a really tough spot to do it. You have to have a lot of commitment and really get into the back of it. And I think the other part that's starting to come into play is the wind is coming kind of from zone 1 and pushing all the way over to 4, and I think it's starting to blind some of the drivers as they're coming through the end of 4. And I think Wataru had a little bit of a tire fire there. Jerry Yang, they like to point the exhaust at one of the tires, and it looks really cool, but it slows things down just a skosh, if I can use that SOPA word.
Yeah, skosh.
Skosh.
Yeah, a little skosh. You did say shake a stick at it, which is an old-timey term too.
I'm trying to collect. I'll never get to Sopa's level of old-timey term.
Yeah, he wears a monocle on the start line. You can't see it under his heat waves,
really
but there's a monocle underneath there. That's how he's like Mr. Peanut. He's like just an old-timey kind of guy.
Why he's backing off the line? Maybe a quick read.
Just
he didn't get a chance to scrub tires back in.
I think just getting rid of the tire debris.
There you go, and whatever fire extinguisher.
If we could shake a stick at that tire debris.
Yeah.
Now see down here what we got.
You get
little tire debris.
Little finger pointer things.
Yeah, I like kind of just an old classic wood stick.
Okay.
Yeah, like on the wheel.
Yeah.
Like doing one of those old time ones. All right, here we go. Arturo Masuyama. Again, the Injuku Racing 86, Injuku Racing, a proud supporter of Formula Drift for so many years, campaigning so many different vehicles over the years, and Masuyama, rightfully so. The menacing looking Evangelion front coming through that power lane. Cody Buchanan back there.
Whoa!
And Buchanan.
That's a big fire.
Yeah, that's a big pop right there, my friend. Let's make sure Cody is okay. Arturo does complete the entirety of the run. He parks it really quickly. There was... Yeah, that just saw a big fireball there. Cody's out of the car, so that's great. Hey, way to go, red shirts.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. And our Orlando Speed World track staff, thank you so much.
Yeah, everybody in those red FD shirts, that's our traveling staff, track workers. They come out and, you know, they work super, super hard. They've gone through a bunch of training this year. They've got a lot of new kit that is just helping keep everybody safe. But let's take a look at it again here. Walk through a bit more of a midline approach. Really smooth on the initiation. Just a really, really good one. Yeah, catches a little bit of wall there. Cody looks like that car is slowing down, and there it is. That catch is quick. I'm hoping that wasn't an engine that let go, but
it's all in the back end.
I'm seeing bits of track. I'm seeing some oil down, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Max is out there right now, slipping and sliding, so I think we're going to have a little bit of a delay here to clean up some bits of car. And I'm seeing, that's tough. He comes off, and whatever it is, let's go real quick and real violently.
Yeah, literally right at that first inside zone, the rectangle, it just combusted, but you got to think prior to that.
I'm wondering if it's a rear diff that let go. It's just interesting it caught fire. I mean, the fluid coming out, obviously if things are really hot back there in exhaust, that would be my guess. But they pushed him off into the grass, thankfully.
Well, with that, officially, Arturo Masuyama gets the win in Injuku Racing, BC Racing, Evangelion Racing. 86 moves on. Cody Buchanan, that reboot. Nissan Z, unfortunately, the boot was on fire. We do need some water, so don't let it burn. All right, so clean up here on aisle 2. We'll be right back here with round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Orlando Speed World. Jared Deane, Jacob Gens, Lorette Nickel, and the star-studded cast of Formula Drift competitors here at this now iconic track. Thank you to all the fans joining us in the building or online. Tell everybody we are live on Racer Network across the globe. Don't go anywhere as we get set for more action and a cleanup here on aisle 2 at Orlando Speed World.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Hateley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving away a Maserati Thursdays in October. Play all month long for a chance to take home an elegant and powerful Italian sports car. Details at Yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. You in?
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in?
Adam LZ here to tell you that Motorsports is taking me just about everywhere. And no matter the scenario, Link ECU is the answer. The flexibility Link gives me for drifting, the precision I need on track, the durability to handle off the track, and the reliability you want in a daily driver. Even when pushing an entire motorsport to a bigger level, Link ECU has been with me every step of the way.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Forsberg, and I'm here with your BC Racing clip tip. I'm standing at clip number 2, right after the big clip outer zone number 1. And so this one is very important. I would say it's actually a little less important than outer zone 1 coming in, but this is the telltale of how you handle that bank and how you came off the bank, carrying your momentum and your angle into this inner clipping point. So the drivers, you'll see, if they're dragging a tire off the zone, they're going wide and pushing wide, they carry too much momentum into one, they're gonna try and regain it coming through this clip. If they come off short, they're gonna be coming into this clip low angle and maybe even into this inner clipping point. So the drivers that are gonna carry that bank the best and put that rear tire right up near the edge, bumper not surpassing this white line behind me, are gonna be the ones that carry that momentum, that angle, that throttle, that commitment through zone 2. And that, my friends, is your BC Racing clip tip.
Well, welcome back. Top 32 in action. Man, the energy is wild. Of course, one of the talking points is this weather. Ken Gushi, my goodness, how is your car holding up in this heat and humidity?
Our GRA6 has been great. I mean, we've been here with crazy weather in the past before, so we have some pretty decent data on how to attack certain scenarios. The unforgiving weather, unpredictable weather. I mean, of course, in qualifying, of course, right before we run, the weather decides to come down when it was dry for a few sessions. But yeah, nonetheless, it's the same playing field for everyone. And like you said, we're back in the top 16 for the first time in like 3 rounds. I mean, we've had quite a bit of a challenge this year. But yeah, my team's been on it, getting the car ready for me every time I go out. So really happy to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. And in case there's any kind of like little gremlins or something for 2026, we're just going to get it off of Ken Gushi's shoulders. So excited that we're going to see you in top 16, guys.
Thank you.
We need to get rid of any of those gremlins.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a rough go here for Ken Gushi at the beginning of the season, but yeah, he's making his way through it. Hopefully this is a turning point for him. Take a second here and introduce our lovely judges that we've got up here. We've got Vernon Svanveld, Reese Marin, and Brian Eggert, and Robbie Nishida as well. But Vernon is just on, supervising duty this weekend, so he's a backup in case one of the judges gets heat stroke. So far, everybody has stayed pretty healthy and hydrated so far. We hope everybody else is here as well. But thank you so much for coming out to Orlando. It's been an incredible weekend so far. As we take a look, there is our booth. That is us hanging out up here. I will say the air conditioning is not as good as what you would think it would be. It is quite warm, and we appreciate that. And hopefully we get this track cleanup done as quick as we possibly can. Our track workers out there right now getting the kitty litter down. We'll get the tractor out with the brushes to get that cleaned up. And how is everybody doing here in Orlando? That's not bad. I'm not going to get you to yell much louder. I don't need you using up all that energy. But once again, thank you so much for bearing with us, and thank you for respecting all your neighbors. But while we get everything cleaned up on the track, we're going to do an O'Reilly's Guess the Parts. So feel free to play along at home. But Dylan Hughes, what parts we got now?
We're back again. We're in Atlanta, second round for the 2026 O'Reilly Auto Part Random Part Challenge. I'm with my boy.
Random Auto Part Challenge.
Matt Field.
All right.
What that is it heavy? Then it's expensive.
It's the weight that I would guess it would be.
Yeah, right?
Trying to open it up.
And I definitely don't know what it is.
Where did you get this thing, dude?
O'Reilly Auto Parts, brother.
Window, motor, regular, or a blend door. This is a blend door motor.
Holy shit. I mean, yeah, there was like a fancy name for it, but that's exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna get it this time, whatever it, oh my God, what is this?
It's made of plastic. He's like, dude, we don't have this stuff.
It's a motor of some kind. Door lock actuator?
I mean, you were dang close on the first one.
AC vent motor.
Does that count?
Climate control, terminal air door actuator.
I would have never guessed those terminologies.
Like, if you told me that was on my car, I'd be like, what'd you call me, bro?
Do I get to keep this or what?
Sure. No. I'll bring it back. We'll sell it to you cheap. No. Everybody sees me coming down, they're like,
here we go.
Come on, this guy.
It's like an RC for my kid.
Oh, it's the self-destruct solenoid. Just hit that button, you just blow your car to pieces.
Everything goes to control. AC control.
Yeah, that'll work. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Climate control terminal air door actuator for a 2006 or 9 Chrysler Pacifica.
Okay, un controlador que va del aire para controlar la temperatura del carro.
That's what I said.
Hi, my name is Kevin Wells, competition director of Formula Drift. We did some course changes. Hopefully we don't have a lot of oil downs and cleanups. So let's check it out.
Whoa! Shanahan wrong way! And Shanahan goes into the wall.
I've done some stupid stuff before with this fucking definitely the stupidest one.
Oh my, front wheels come off the ground on the truck? I don't know if the front wheels came off, but that was like, whoa! Okay. We've got a lot of damage. So I think I'm gonna cut this branch and then I'll lift it straight up and then we'll pull the car out front.
There's enough stuff here. They might be able to put it back together. He's got till what, Saturday?
We're going to do another thing. Actually, the first 360.
Wow, I'm so honored.
On the way.
What's that? Is that Kevin's corner? Deane.
Holy that was f***ing awesome.
As you can see, that is a lot of kitty litter. Oh, that is a lot. So unfortunately, if you are just tuning in, we are live at Orlando Speed World, and Cody Buchanan, unfortunately, did we find out what exactly popped on his motor? But there was a big, like right coming off the bank into that inside zone 1, into the power alley, it just kaboom. And fortunately, he's okay, and we only sensationalize it because, 1, we're cleaning it up, 2, he's okay. But yeah, what went wrong?
Yeah, real bad case of the insides becoming outsides is what that is. And there it is. Thankfully, once again, nothing else caught fire. He was all right and able to get out of the vehicle pretty quick. Our track staff that is now cleaning it up was there in very, very short order, but you can see just how long that cleanup is. So the majority of the fluid came out at the very beginning of it, and then a bit more of a trail to go through. So going to be a few more minutes getting that cleaned up, unfortunately. But
like a Benihana popped up in the back end of that thing. No shrimp were hurt in the making of that flambe. You know, but we'll be right back here in just a moment. So again, thank you for your patience, but this is motorsports, baby. You never know how high and wound up these cars are going to be, and sometimes, boom, goes the dynamite. Well, when we come back, more Formula Drift action.
Looking for a college where you can learn by doing? The University of Northwestern Ohio puts the wrench in your hand and your future in motion.
I would recommend UNOH to anybody who wants to excel in this industry.
With industry connections, cutting-edge equipment, and programs in automotive, diesel, high performance, robotics, and more, this is education that works.
You will come to this school and you will leave 10 times what you were when you came here.
Apply now at unoh.edu.
At the limit, performance tells the truth. From the drift track to off-road to the open road, Kenda engineers its tires where failure is not an option. Vesda Performance, Cleaver all-terrain. One engineering standard, professional grade. From the podium to the pavement. Kenda, find your retailer at kendatire.com.
get out there and have fun. Because you've got Meguiar's, and we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, Meguiar's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. Meguiar's, reflect your passion.
Well, since we've been away, there is so much happening here in the hot pits. And congratulations, moving on to the top 16. I love seeing the smile on your face, always so enthusiastic. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this Orlando track and how you're adapting to everything.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. I'm so happy. So actually, this time my spotter is Shinji. Shinji is Hiro's father. So Hiro got podium #1 place last season. So my car has almost same adjust and alignment actually, yeah.
Well, we're going to see you battle in top 16. Thank you so much for your time, Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette, and thank you to Mr. Masuyama, as again, just talking about his affinity here. So again, just a little low in the action, but that is motorsports. Boom goes the dynamite for Cody Buchanan as far as the engine and the fire, and our hardworking track staff. Again, about 85 degrees, 70% humidity. It is hot out there, and you can see the cars stacked up there in that grass parking lot just beyond the main bleachers. Our judges and our staff, thank you to all the hardworking crew and all the cats out here. So as we are just again cleaning up the track right now, the action will continue in just a little bit. Long Beach, Atlanta, here we are in Orlando. We got 3 new tracks, Stamford, Connecticut, talking about Indy, as well as Las Vegas. We're going back to Las Vegas after a hiatus for many a years, and I gotta say the timing is perfect. We are going to the venue on the venue is called the Bull Ring. So it's basically very comparable to this. I know that Hot Pit Auto Fest had an event there last year. We're really making a good investment. What are your thoughts of the new stops?
Yeah, I like it. I haven't seen anything official when it comes to track layout. That's obviously like the big thing I'm trying to find out. No one tells me anything anymore because I just end up talking about it on the podcast. So, but there's been a lot of fans that have created their own layouts, which have been cool. Connecticut, there's a one that just came out, and
I saw that the Sim Kid.
Yeah, if that's the layout, I'm like,
relax, dog.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I don't know if we'll never get a true Irwindale. But a lot of the layouts lend themselves to something that's similar to Irwindale. So that's what I'm excited about. And then nobody has any notes. Yeah. That's the big thing. Like how many, Ken talked about, he's got years and years of information. Yep. We show up to Connecticut and like everyone starts fresh. So
that's what I liked about LB2. I think LB2, the Shoreline Showdown last year after Irwindale, we bid you adieu and said thank you so much for all that you've done for drifting and motorsports in general. I really liked LB2 because to that point, we can build a track anywhere. So I think it's really great. All right, let's break down Wally once again, because this is just the robot in the room that everybody's like, oh, this, that, the other thing. We give you some technology. Some people chastise it. Just listen. Come in with an open mind and an open heart and saying, hey, we want to see the progression. So let's break it down here. What are we looking at as far as the colors, the things, the zones, technology?
Yeah, so I mean, you can see the zones laid out on the track. That's a new addition. And the white areas are where you want the car to drive through. The red is where you're going to start seeing penalties. And it basically allows us to understand exactly what a car is doing multiple times per second. I mean, Frederick Aasbo, believe it or not, he's got, well, this is Chris Forsberg. You can see they've already put the liveries on the side. But, like, we know from practice that Frederick Aasbo actually has the fastest average speed of any driver. Dylan Hughes had the fastest entry of any driver. And all the drivers have access to this information as well. So they can do things like overlay their run over someone else's to say, hey, if you were to battle him, this is what it would look like. So I think from like the spotters, the crew, the team, the drivers, just forget about any of the judging part. Just that access to information is going to develop this sport in a way that we've never been able to do it, because nobody can hide anything anymore.
Right.
Spotters' jobs almost instantly changed overnight, where it was this observant thing. Now it's more of a, okay, you can still watch it, but we have all the data, so I need you to both watch it and analyze this and tell me all that.
Multifaceted.
Yeah.
I mean, we had front brake lights. You know, so a little, I don't want to say rudimentary, but just with the progression, the technology wasn't there. Now it is applicable. Michael and his team, Race Data Labs, from a year and a half ago to now has grown by leaps and bounds, and that's just a year and a half. So
down?
again, all right, Lorette, I can hear you. Lorette, down to you.
Jared, I'm so glad that you can hear us down in the hot pits, and I heard you guys talking about Wally. Brandon, what's your opinion about the system?
I think that it's very, very good for the sport. Being able to make a judgment call and have physical data to back it up, and I think one of the coolest things ever is being able to open up the screen and see the view of what the cars are doing. And I think it's a huge step in the right direction. You know, it's our first year, there's going to be growing pains, but overall, I'm a huge fan of it, and I think that it's going to grow the entire sport overall.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. Always wonderful hearing from a driver. And I wanted to talk to you about your battle against Rome. It was a little bit tricky. What's your perception of that?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to fight the balance between be safe and push. You know, we don't want to push too hard too early and make stupid mistakes, but we also are not going to back off too much and get the loss. So we're just trying to find that balance right now. We didn't have very much data on him, and it was a little bit of a struggle. But up next we have Masuyama. We were supposed to battle in Atlanta, and he broke his crank. So I'm glad that he's back up and running, and we're finally going to have a chance to get a head-to-head battle, and it's going to be a fun drive.
Incredible. When you mentioned data, what data points are you looking at, and how important is that?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to make the cars equal speed, equal matched, and as a driver standpoint, we're trying to look for any big decels that the other drivers are doing or acceleration points, just so we don't get caught off guard. You know, we don't use it as a 100% solid system, but it's nice to have that in the back of your head of, hey, this person is going to slam on the brakes 10 feet past outside zone 1, and so I can be prepared for it. But as soon as you get caught off guard on something like that, it basically ruins your whole run. So data is very, very important.
Well, Brandon Sorensen doing his homework down here, guys.
Yeah, again, you can see the smile on his face. This is where Brandon has progressed to be. And again, I remember a couple years ago, there was a video documenting the Sorensens at their compound, their garage, in Vegas. And again, from karting, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, many different facets to the Sorensen squad. And Brandon has, he's got machines, he's doing this. So I think that's a compliment to where Brandon's at not just a racer, but developmentally building a program, with his father's foundation and the Sorensen, I say foundational motorsports background, if it's the desert racing score, which Baja 500 is going on right now. A lot of the racers out there in Vegas come from that background. So I think it's a great compliment to Brandon, Amanda, and of course to Cameron Sorensen, their younger brother. So, all right, thank you to, again, our track staff as we are scrubbing things down here. So again, be sure to tune in and watch every round of the Formula Drift Championship on the Racer Network. Download the app, it's free. Again, bears repeating, free. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's paid. No, it's not. You got misinformation, dude. Relax. Download the Racer app. Tons of content, not only Formula Drift, but plenty of podcasts, content, information, racing, all of it. Hence the name Racer Network. So download it now. Watch it free now on Racer Plus. As we will be right back here with more of the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. And when we come back, more action here at Orlando Speed World.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Hateley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
You need parts? O'Reilly has auto parts. Need it fast? We got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
good. Yeah? It really feels good. It's great to be back. I know that fans love this track. The footage looks amazing. It's a very defining track for FD, and with us starting here and ending here, it all makes sense. I'm ready for this, so let's go out there and have some fun.
Pilots, and that would be again the Controlled Chaos, the Rockstar Energy Drink drivers, that of Frederick Aasbo, Ryan Tuerck, and Amanda Sorensen. As you can see the debris being cleaned up here by the Formula Drift safety and track crew. So thank you for working hard and getting it done. So again, let's make sure that everything is up to snuff. Looks pretty good. So thank you, gentlemen, for getting it tight and right. Got the push brooms in hand, a little bit of technology blowing it off. That is one big turbo on that ride mower there. And we will continue with action. We are 4 battles into our top 32, so do the math, 12 battles left, as there's our starter Matt Sopa, also doing double duty on pro spec rounds of competition. We see him in the booth up here calling the pro spec action.
There's Ricky. That goes hard on that thing. Look at him.
Good. Yep, looking good, dude. Look at that. Look at the slicks out back on that thing. All right.
Quick chat with Kevin. Kevin's Corner, one of my favorite FD shows. Now they're doing it all in their glasses, so like no one knows what they're filming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turn off the lights on it too, so you can't see it. Getting all incognito. All right, you can see again Orlando Speed World. You see the dirt track out back. Got moto, got a drag strip. So thank you to OSW. A lot of different venues. Jacob, I know you live not too far down the road from here. You've been driving a lot in your loving G35.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, you're out here driving quite a bit. A good scene out here in Orlando.
Yeah, super good drift scene. I mean, this track is packed pretty much every weekend, whether it's events or private rentals, and yeah, it's a great time. I made a lot of friends. I met a lot of my neighbors just being here. I mean, actually, my neighbor from down the road's here right now. So, yeah, shouts out Luke and Cass for coming out and supporting. But it's a ton of fun. It's a great spot to learn how to drift as well as just get better. It's got the skid pad, which you're seeing right there, where all the rigs are set up, and then you can also rent it at the oval and give that a shot. Tried a few times. Car is not built for this oval by any means. No, neither is the driver. But it did give me a whole new respect for how difficult this track really is and how much commitment you need, because you'll think you're close to the wall and then you look at the video and you realize you're about 15 feet away from it. But while you're in the car, you think you can reach out and touch it. So yeah, it's a crazy facility, but the Florida drift scene is incredibly strong, and I'm hearing rumors of more and more drivers coming out here.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a great value when it comes to driving, and a lot of drivers make their way over here to OSW. So as you're smoking some meats and smoking some tires, dude.
Yeah, it's a great spot for that. I've done both. I brought the smoker out here to an event, and
I'm giving your flowers or your barbecue sauce, dude. Pour some sauce on me, baby. All right. So again, just cleaning things up here. Thank you to our Formula Drift maid service. Put a mint on the pillow. Let's tear this thing down once again. Yeah, let's keep the fluids inside the car this time. And of course, Cody Buchanan, not exactly what he wanted to do. Also, I was talking to Greg Bucell during that break, and he said that unfortunately Cole Richards has a part that broke, borrowing one from OD Bakchis. Okay. Not the right size, so he's going to make do with what he's got.
I wonder what it is. Did he say what it was?
What was it exactly? I don't know.
Greg's not paying attention.
Lifter rod.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So not the right size.
Yeah, I don't know how you make do with that unless you get the grinder out.
Yeah, all right. Well, again, we know it's not his fault, Lorette. I apologize, but what happened to Cody Buchanan out here on track?
Yeah, we wanted to get exactly that, Cody. So if you could walk us through what happened.
So basically, my drive shaft didn't want to be a drive shaft anymore, and then yeeted itself. You pulled me before we could actually go figure out everything, but I think a fuel line ruptured from the drive shaft, the exhaust is mangled, everything's screwed, but at least we went out in a blaze of glory. Not glory, but a blaze, so we did it, kinda, yeah. We're good. I'm good.
As long as you're good, and this is going to be something that you're going to be able to fix before the next round.
Yeah, we have an event next weekend with the C-Boys called Octane Auto Fest, so we have like 2 days to fix it. We should be ready.
Fingers crossed. Cody, thank you so much for filling us in. Jared?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun event. Cody, I'm looking forward to seeing you and hanging with you in Minnesota at that Octane Auto Fest at Brainerd Raceway. Chris Forsberg designed, and they paved the new track, like you said, with the C-Boys. I'll be out there. It'll be fun. So join us out there next weekend, Brainerd Raceway, 3-day event. So it's going to be a good time.
Money's worth it there.
And we are back. We let those drivers take a little bit of a sight lap to see what the conditions are of that track. Again, you can put down as much absorbent material down there, but you want to make sure that they have the right grip and the right slip, of course, because it is drifting, so it's all about that side bite, making sure that their respective tire brands can find that grip and find the dry spots out here on the course. We move on to our next battle, and it looks like we are seeing Jack Shanahan and D. Mads, Derek Madison. Jack Shanahan, expect a big gangster initiation from him. D. Mads, these guys have never seen battle before. So again, Jack Shanahan, no rookie to Formula Drift competition or drifting competition in that. It's sophomore season in the Formula Drift Championship here in the United States. D. Mads making the jump from Pro Spec to Pro a couple years ago. So excited to see what D. Mads can do and put it together. So that Pulsar turbo system BMW PSR, and then the coilover depot S chassis. So Jack Shanahan will lead in that black BMW, and Derek Madison giving chase. We got a clean start, no cones were hit. Shanahan initiates into that first, look at that, tip for tat. Jack Shanahan, that's what I said, gangster initiation there by Shanahan, the older Shanahan brother, rides the Lightning all the way up top. Again, there is something in that Cork Ireland water. Now it goes past that second inside zone into that last outside zone. Derek Madison tries to gain some ground, and Shanahan, rock solid, kissing the Blarney Stone there and says goodbye. So good effort there by D. Mads, but Jack really strong out front.
Well, one of two things is happening out there right now. Either we have a little bit of precipitation, or Jack Shanahan was kind of throwing his hands all over the place because I saw the wipers go on. But hopefully it's just him getting a little crazy behind the wheel, and it shows out on track. He's doing a great job out in the lead. D-Mads is not backing down any means, but look at the amount of angle that Jack is throwing through these transitions. He's trying to shake Derek Madison off and does a really good job of getting into the pocket outside zone 4 and holding it there. So phenomenal work there from D-Mads. Really, really stoked to see. I mean, it's very intimidating making the jump up to Pro. It's even more intimidating taking on a Shanahan, and Derek Madison just does not care. He gets out there and just tries to throw it to him. So phenomenal work there for Derek Madison. Jack Shanahan, as always, out front, super aggressive, lots of style, lots of angle, and we'll be swapping them back around. I don't know why Jack's wipers are on. I'm hoping there's no rain. I'm seeing umbrellas.
All right, we got a little bit of aggressive speaking, as I say. Just Jacob, you kind of sometimes you spit in my face a little bit. I need that sneeze guard. So here we go. Derek Madison initiating into the bank. Jack Shanahan into aggressive angle by both of them. Let's see how they navigate on the inside. Jack Shanahan, look at that, really good execution, and you can see tucking in, avoiding that smoke trail behind Derek Madison's S chassis. Shanahan drops back quite a bit. And Derek really turned it up on that run. He had the clean air, he had the confidence. You could see the angle there, 43 degrees, and the mimicry, the miles per hour, all of the telemetry there on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, it was a really, really good run. I think there's going to be one spot in this that I want to keep an eye on, and that is going to be inside zone 3. So Derek Madison, not as much angle up on the bank. Jack doing a great job filling it in the chase. And as we come through onto, so Derek's doing a pretty good job, but it looks like a pretty big slowdown there from Derek to make sure that he doesn't cut over on track. Jack does a good job, but Jack on a tighter line, not able to really keep up with the speed. I mean, I feel like he could have unleashed it and really got into the side of him, but maybe held back just a bit. So hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt him. You can see that mimicry score on the bottom as well as the proximity score. Really, really interesting when we start to look at those numbers as well. This is a pretty tight battle, all things considered, looking at those numbers. So we'll see what the judges think of it, but that's a tight one. That's a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected it to be.
All right, the needle's kind of going back and forth as they await. And again, you can barely see it, just a little bit of sprinkling. And like Forsberg said at the top of the show, it's either really hot or really wet. So again, if it's hot, it's dry, and if even when it's hot when it's raining. But Again, you could see Shanahan's windshield wipers on there just a little bit for drizzle.
Yeah, I think
looking at some of the stats there.
Yeah,
the telemetry.
Yeah, so
I'm
able to pull up the Race Data Labs dashboard, and there's a lot of different things we can look at. But yeah, I'm not shocked by this. BC Racing custom coilover side by side. So I try to take a look. I mean, is the lead driver providing a good chase? And in both of these cases, they really are. Proximity-wise, it does look like Derek Madison's doing a bit better of a job. And then through this transition, Jack is just, I mean, he's on throttle the whole time. And that's the only thing that I think you can kind of point to from this glance is that, you know, Derek did kind of lift going around outside zone 3, or at least the smoke trail dissipated at that point in time. Jack wants to charge at that point, but isn't really able to. Now, Jack did angle pretty hard through zone 3, but he's on throttle the whole time. So this is one of those things where you can start to look into the Wally information and figure out, you know, was there a massive decel? Did that affect Jack? You know, how does that all play out? So the Wally system right now in play as a reviewing aid. It is not making the calls. The judges still have that call, and we'll see where this goes.
Slide him right for Derek Madison. Oh, one more time, and one more time. So I think that's a fair assessment. You saw just the different zones, the telemetry, the numbers as you're really kind of unpacking all of that. And for those fans in the building so let's walk it through it.
Yeah, so Derek Madison out front. We got Jack Shanahan following in the lead, and you can see what we're going to be looking for is there a bit of a decel behind Derek Madison coming through here, and you can see it. Jack's got to, he's got to basically mimic that in order to make sure he doesn't slam into the side of Derek Madison. Now, Derek's doing a great job out front. You see a couple little spots where you see red coming off the back of it, and that's just him potentially just grabbing a bit of left foot brake. But I think if Jack could have just closed up the gap a little bit more through there, that would have solved all those problems and kept him a lot closer in the battle. So for Derek, I mean, I think it's, you just keep doing what you're doing, and for Jack, he's got to just gain some proximity all the way through. So we are hearing there's just a little bit of drizzle. That's already clearing up, but they're going to let them just check out the traction on track.
If you're just joining us, this is Formula Drift, round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Orlando Speed World. We have our next 2 competitors on track. You never know what you're going to see here in Orlando. It's hot, it's humid, it's raining, it's dry, it's wet. You're going to see it all. This is Formula Drift. Ben Hobson, Jonathan Castro, Ben Hobson. We'd love to just see and elevate to what we know he can do. Jonathan Castro, him and this vehicle and this track are such a marriage made in heaven. Dominicans find us. He always has such a sensational experience, a good driving experience, and would love to see him get the win in the closest track to his home, given that he lives in DR. Obviously has to commute for all 8 rounds of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Always has a really good spirit, a great attitude. The Mental Dom Toyota GR86 flying the Dominican flag, and Ben Hobson is All-American as they come in his Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5FD. And don't know if the boss man is watching. Von Gittin Jr. down south of the border, down in Baja, Mexico, competing in the Baja 500. Here we go. So again, just a little bit of drizzle as the lights extinguish and the tire fire is on. Here we go. Ben Hobson out front, initiating the pink pony out front. Nice job there as drags the wall. Look at Castro. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know what it is. He just harnesses a special spirit. Comes out of the smoke. Castro dives on outside in that power alley. Put the hurt on Ben Hobson. Good proximity. Not mimicking the exact angle, but how he saw through that smoke is beyond me. Yes, there's night vision. Yes, it's daytime, but he just has that sixth sense going out of that smoke through that power alley.
Yeah, Castro is just in it here. I mean, Ben Hobson doing an amazing job out in the lead. Look how stable he is going all the way through the first outside zone. Does a great job. Very clean through 2. He really does. He gives all the opportunity. Ben Hobson's lead, though. Yeah. I mean, take a look at this again. All eyes are on Castro in the chase, but this is
great foundation.
This is easily one. I mean, this is, I would say, the best run Hobson's done here this weekend.
Yes.
Man, phenomenal job. But Castro, yeah, loves the proximity, loves getting into the side of cars, playing the intimidator from the back. Man, great job.
This is not what Ben wants in the rearview mirror.
No.
And like you said, foundationally, that was a solid lead run. In order to have a good chase run, you need a confident lead run, and Ben gave him that opportunity, elevated Castro, and now Ben needs to do just as good, ideally better, in order to get this victory. But like I said, Castro and this track, they just have a kindred spirit when it comes to Orlando and Castro. Here we go, initiating into the bank. There goes Ben Hobson to the side of Castro. Castro sticks it to the wall. Look at the proximity between the Toyota and the Ford. Coming down, slamming into that first inside zone, transitioning the power alley. Ben Hobson dives in on the inside, takes out that second inside zone. Castro finds the crease, sets it and forgets it, puts it right in the line for the Metal Dom Toyota GR86 on Kenda tires. A hard-fought battle between these two drivers. A great lead run by Jonathan Castro. Unfortunately, the wrong side of that second inside zone.
Yeah. I mean, I think we got some Dominican fans in the building because they were on their feet, they were yelling, they were screaming. Castro up front looking really solid. This is definitely going to come down to that lead versus lead, chase versus chase, and how it all plays out. But unfortunately for Ben Hobson, washing out just a little bit wide on track, sinks in well through 4. But the proximity is just not there. And see that proximity score for Jonathan Castro, 100%. I mean, he was there the entire time. Maybe not quite with the same angle, but man.
See the mimicry, 69% as opposed to Ben with the 88%.
Exactly.
So again, you know, you can exchange one for the other. Ideally, you want those numbers to be both high, but you can see just how that develops.
Man, tough call.
Really tough call. A bad break for Ben Hobson, but Castro gets the win. DR, it might stand for doctor because he just executes here in Orlando. Well done by Jonathan Castro as Ben Hobson gets knocked out. Down to Lorette, who's with Jack Shanahan.
Well, Jared, thank you very much. Jack, down here, have it one more time. You said you're feeling off pace. What are you feeling in the car?
Yeah, to be honest, I think to drive that bad and get it one more time, I feel quite lucky, to be honest. Obviously, with the oil that's went down just before our battle, and then we were in the burnout box and it started drizzling like on the windscreen and stuff, so I kind of just panicked, and this car needs like full commitment or else it doesn't steer nice, and you can probably see that from my first transition. It just snapped and I kind of messed up my lead. So I was kind of lucky that he didn't do the perfect lead either, I think, and I think lead to lead it was pretty similar, just in different places. So I just need to try find some pace as well. His car is quite fast, so yeah, I just need to try get my head around it and figure it out a small bit more. So yeah, the heat is not helping me. I'm just not very comfortable in the car. It's way too hot, so it's not too bad. I just need to try to get my head in the game a bit better.
Jack, thank you so much.
All right, let's take a look at our next battle. Jeff Jones, Dan Burkett. Jeff Jones is on one. Yesterday, he hurt his finger. Saw him this morning. The wheel grabbed his pinky, threw it down. So we will see if he can drive. He's feeling it. Yesterday, a great run by Jeff Jones. And we saw earlier that Rad Dan having an issue with his linkage and his transmission. And again, had some issues, but looks like it's coming together for Jones, especially. Dan Burkett comes out of smoke. The Rad Industries Mark IV Supra drops back a bit, now gains some ground and regains it. Right there to zone 4, drops into formation. Jeff Jones, look at that. Counter locked, locked and loaded. You saw minimal corrections from Jeff Jones, and that allowed Rad Dan, you saw him just get that power and fire up that 2J to the side of the Z.
Yeah, this is getting wild already. Top 32 is looking absolutely nasty. Jeff Jones taking a second to really get into that zone. Rad Dan looks like he's poised to just try to make a big dive. Really wants to find that speed, find that grip, and there it is. Goes for it, gets into a great spot. Now starts to close up the gap and really bring it to Jeff Jones, and there he is, locked in to the side all the way around outside zone 4. So, I mean, Jeff Jones took him a second to get a bit settled. It took Dan a little bit to get settled, and now we can take a look exactly what the Wally system is seeing as they come through this part of it. So that little bit of red you see trailing off the cars, that is a very, very slight decel. That could be something as little as just touching that left foot brake, but it shows you how precise this is. And you can see the proximity bar, that green bar in the bottom right, letting you know how close those two cars are to each other based on how the cars are measured out. So what they're aiming for is about a 1 meter gap, about 3 feet between them. That's kind of the spacing. It's how well you can stay inside of that 3 foot gap. A meter. But yeah, put 2.8
good unit of measure,
something.
sure.
Yeah,
it's a meter. You know, designed by Australians. So, all right, here we go. Rad Dan out front. Oh, and he taps that wall. So does Jeff. That was almost a compliment to his car control and saying like, all right, I'll mimic you. Was that within a meter? Definitely less than a meter to that wall. So very similar to what we saw from Rad Dan, but doesn't look like Jeff regains the ground that we saw Rad Dan. But again, keep in mind with Dan hitting that wall, that definitely could have disrupted the flow on that lead and affecting, right? Every action has a reaction, and that might have been the case. As we're going to run it back and take a look. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a lot of different cases where this has happened, and thankfully there's no major impact there, but it does show how committed Jeff Jones is, where he taps the wall right behind Rad Dan. Both of them lose a little bit of angle on that contact, but doesn't look like anything too crazy. Transitioning back out, Jeff Jones doing a pretty good job, but unfortunately, Rad Dan just finds the grip a little bit sooner, gets a very dialed outside zone fourth. Man, solid work from Rad Dan. He's getting this.
I would say that's a small victory for him.
Yeah.
Given that they've had, again, linkage issues, transmission issues, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the consistency throughout the run looks really good. I think Jeff Jones just, he catches that bit of wall and never really regains his pace and kind of his footing in the run. And by then, I mean, Rad Dan's pulling about a bus length on him.
Yeah, and again, I wasn't implying that hit affected Jeff Jones. Said, let's take a look at it. So again, just trying to make sure we kind of dot our I's and cross our T's when it comes to writing the story and how it unfolds and what transpires as two vehicles respective. Rad Dan, Burkett, Jeff Jones there on the right. Big Drift Energy Prisma, Nissan 370Z, and the Rad Industries Sunix Tools GT Radial Mark IV Supra. Making our way through top 32. Like I said, we saw just a little drizzle here. We are not even halfway through 32. Sliding left for Jones, right for Dan Burkett, and it looks like Dan Burkett gets the victory. Rad Dan will advance on. Like I said, that is a major victory given that his transmission issues, they didn't have one. I know Greg Bussell was talking to him earlier, talking about, we didn't have one. That's another story. That's up for another conversation, but, like I said, got it done. All right, here is how our top 16 is shaping up. Our top 16, so, oh, look at that, the OGs, the two last veterans of the Formula Drift Championship since 2004. Chris Forsberg versus Kenshiro Gushi.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, Brandon Sorensen versus Watoru Masuyama. Castro waits to see if it's Shanahan or Madison, and then Dan Burkett will go against one of these drivers, talking about Bakchis, Edemus Bakchis, and Simon Olsen. Former teammates, a lot of knowledge being shared either way, and like you said, Odie's had Simon's number 4 out of the 8. Right?
5.
Here we go, 5 out of the 8. Here we go, Odie Bakchis initiates that field suspension. Sumi Mods, BRZ. Simon Olsen tucks in a little bit lower than Odie. Coming down to that first inside, into that power alley. Simon cuts through like a knife, through that smoke. Let's see if they can find that crease, and Odie does. Bakchis backs it in. Odie Bakchis, because he backs it. Dumps like a truck. What? There you go.
Oh man, fun run from both of them. Yeah, Simon Olsen currently running a 3-speed transmission. They had to rebuild and re-gear to get this going, so I think that affected his launch. He's not going to have all the gears he's used to be able to row through, but does a good job to get back into the side of Odie Bakchis coming through that first outside zone. Does take him a second. Odie's having a great run out front. I mean, really solid. Very dialed, very committed all the way through. You can see he's dragging just a little bit of left foot brake here and there, but outside of that, it looks great. Simon does a great job through the transition. I mean, mimicry-wise, he's doing an amazing job of really following the same line that Odie's throwing down. We'd like to see him get a bit closer, but we're kind of at that point now where unless you're dragging your wheel on their door, I'd like to see a little bit closer. That's the kind of threshold we're at. So we'll see how Simon does now. This run-up is going to be really big for him.
Yeah, let's see how Simon's car, like you said, just compromising the gears. We'll see if he's got enough, and how is this going to play a strategy for Odie Bakchis? How much do you trust that he has the equipment? Again, Odie's spotter, his wife, one of the best in the biz. She's definitely won spotter of the year multiple times, so strategy's coming into play, and there it is. You see Odie Bakchis kind of just drooling, seething at getting the proximity. Let's see if he finds the wheel on the door, that GT radial, and now transitions and brings it across. So like you said, maybe not the speed that we had seen previously from Simon Olsen, and that allowed Odie Bakchis to, again, one of the best chase drivers in the biz. Talking about Odie Bakchis.
Yeah, Simon's run up, I mean, I don't think, they just don't have the amount of gears that they're hoping for, so they got to make a bit of a compromise, but he's doing a great job out in the lead to get around that. They would have tried to find as best of gearing as possible to get that car out there, and does a great job. The hard part is that Odie's kind of got his number through so much of this run. The proximity's there. Simon looks great in the lead. He's stable. He's doing everything he needs to, but The hard part is that Odie's he's just there. He's right on the door the entire way through. Yeah, it's just how it goes.
All right, let's see it. Slide him left or right, and it looks like Odie Bakchis gets the win. It'll be Rad Dan Burkett, Odie Bakchis in the top 16. Unfortunately, Simon Olsen is knocked out as they exit the Coliseum that is OSW, Orlando Speed World. It is definitely, like I said, a hot one. You could see Jack Shanahan pulling up and D. Mads, Derek Madison. So for their one more time battle, Jack, painfully honest. I mean, yeah. I think you said it, refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It's super refreshing. I mean, Jack's version of media training is just trying not to swear on camera. So he'll tell you. He'll tell you if he's driving well. He'll tell you if he's driving bad. Yeah. He has no problem being brutally honest. And I think for fans, it's refreshing because he's not going to sugarcoat anything. First thing he said, he goes, he's like, I'm just happy I even got it one more time with how bad I was driving.
So he left some opportunity on the table. He's going to learn from that. So is Derek Madison. You know, him and his team, you know, taking that into consideration. You know, but knowing Jack to that point, painfully honest and painfully aggressive. Yeah. So you know, equally, it's kind of like don't consider the kindness for weakness.
By any means.
By any means. Like I always say, you know, like everybody's like, oh, Jared, he's a big old bear. Well, bears have teeth and claws, dog. Yeah. So, you know.
You're pretty cuddly, though.
Hey, relax. Relax. I know the camera's not on right now, so just relax. All right, so the Pulsar, Turbo Systems, PSR, BMW on the start line will lead, again, our one more time battle. Let's see, it looks like maybe the back bumper getting a little zip tied back up on the back end of D. Matt's car. And Shanahan and Madison for this one more time battle. Lights are on. You can see them there on the gantry. Once they extinguish, it's go time. That chase car can leave a little bit before that lead car. First time ever watching. Tip to tail, and there goes that bumper already on D. Matt. Shanahan, good initiation. D. Matt's compromised some of that angle and going for the proximity. Shanahan hangs it out, goes all the way out to that indicator of that first outside zone. Madison cuts through the smoke, no problem. Drops back quite a bit, but Shanahan gets there deeper and deeper. Madison mimicking the angle. That was good. I mean, again, respectfully, decent.
Yes, I think so. I think that's a good way to put it. And you got to remember, too, Jack's a fresh engine build in there. They got a little bit of testing over at the LZ compound, but not a ton. So Jack doing a pretty good job of getting that up to the wall. Derek, he's very, very aggressive in this, and we're going to have to see. I mean, Jack's spotter's going to be in his ear and say, hey, he's kind of all over you to the first outside zone, and then he closed on you to the fourth. You can see that with Derek there. It's just starting to make that charge and get a little bit closer in. So for Jack, he's got to be on it. He's going to have to basically door Derek Madison all the way around this track in order to get this win, or hope that Derek's lead run just isn't where it needs to be. Because, I mean, I'm stoked here for D-Mads. Like, this is a big step up in his driving. It's taken a little bit of time to gain that confidence now that he's made that jump up to pro. But it's coming together for him. And for Jack Shanahan, I mean, this is just not his day. I don't know if the temp's getting to him or what it is, but it's, you know, you just expect kind of perfection from the Shanahan name at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot. And, you know, we, at the top of the show, Lorette talking to his younger brother, Jack, Connor, and saying, yeah, it's hot for us Irishmen. And Jack in that hot little black BMW definitely gets sweaty. You know, we talk about the temps outside, 85, 87, 75% humidity. It's definitely hotter in the cockpit as Derek Madison initiates high on the bank, and some shrapnel thrown in our face as the coilover depot, utilizing those coilovers now into that power alley. Here comes that Pulsar, Turbo Systems, BMW, a little bit closer, but like I said, as far as exchanging that proximity for that mimicry of the angle, you know, again, it's very comparable to what we saw in that first battle. No big like banging doors or initiation. It's just running through the course.
Yeah, I think the hard part right now for Derek is it did take him a hot minute to really get into that first outside zone. So the scores are kind of comparable, but Jack's going to have a little bit of an advantage in that section of the track as we can see those line scores starting to come through. It's a tight one again. I mean, from that first look, I mean, Derek's got a bit more proximity through the majority of his chase run, but I think Jack provided a bit better of a lead. So same thing, when you start to add all these stats up, it's starting to look close to a one more time again in full transparency. So yeah, Jack just can't find the pace we're used to. And Derek's doing a great job. Like, I don't want to take anything away from how Derek's driving. And you know, Jack's a phenomenal driver any day of the week. It's just right now, for whatever reason, it seems like the car just can't find the pace that he's hoping for. And there they are, big hugs.
You know, I love that. You know, we're that's a definitely European thing over the years.
I'd like it to be an American thing too, because it's cool to see.
I think it's respect, and also if everybody does it when they don't do it, you know they got beef. So I'm cool with that.
Well, and some drivers, they want to sit and watch the run, and they want to lock in. I mean, the great thing now is they've got that big screen. They'll sit and watch it and start to critique it with each other. But this is a very, very similar run to what we saw before. Yeah, I mean, man, that's crazy how close these runs are to each other again. So tough call, tough day at work for the judges.
Talk about the nerves, though.
Oh, man.
You know, the mindset to go once. All right, you know, here's Jack saying, all right, could have done better. We haven't talked to Derek. Very comparable run. So here we go. Slide him. Left for Shanahan, right for Madison. Going one more time. Oh, a vote for Jack, and one more time. So again, not unanimous, but majority rule. So another one more time for Madison and Shanahan. Man, working hard for the advancement to 16. Let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel with our most recent winner.
Odie and I were just talking about temperature, and he is going to take a thermometer to the inside of his car. A little bit scary to know what the answer is right now, so we'll get back to you on that. But Odie, first time this beautiful machine is being driven on a bank. Is it handling as you expected?
Yeah, it is. We, generally ran S chassis on a bank, and you have to set them up a specific way, and we kind of threw a little bit of that setup, and then we quickly learned, well, maybe it needs it a little bit differently, a little bit different alignment in the rear, and we're kind of learning that right now. We're going through changes, and the guys are great. I got Tanner, who runs an alignment business, so he's able to quickly change things, looking at tire wear, and we're able to adapt quickly. So I'm very thankful I have good guys on the crew that could initiate those changes and make them happen.
And how are you holding up in this humidity and heat?
Good. It's tough. It's tough for everyone. And yeah, you just got to pace yourself. Luckily, there's AC in the rig, in the trailer to take breaks. But man, yeah, if my boys are hanging in there, I'm going to hang in there.
Hell yeah. Well, we want you to hang in there as well, because we are going to be moving to the right side of the bracket right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Vibe and live loud. This is what we are.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? There's an O'Reilly Auto Parts. Turn left, Tyler.
Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you don't want to do the repair yourself, we can recommend a shop for you.
Okay, Tyler, let's go fix your car.
Auto Parts.
Welcome back here to Orlando Speed World. You can see those big, beautiful clouds, and sometimes they got some moisture that unleashes on FD Scorch. It might be hot, but sometimes the clouds open up as we continue here, and we have a one more time battle that's now going for a second one more time battle. That would be Jack Shanahan and Derek Madison as we advance on through 32. So not even halfway through our top 32. We had a big delay earlier as Cody Buchanan said his drive shaft left the chat, opened up and caught fire and absolutely shellacked that power alley from inside zone 1 to inside zone 2. So thank you to our staff. As Cole Richards and Andy Hateley enter the Coliseum, the two gladiators. Cole Richards, a true Formula Drift pro rookie, making the jump from prospect to pro. And I'll tell you what, the way he is driving, he is possessed. But talking to his spotter, Mr. Pat Gooden, a former Formula Drift competitor, he's saying, we think we got it. We got a lot of nitrous, ready to send it. Andy Hateley, always a good attitude. The Drift Wizard always has a good time, but much fun as it is to be the Drift Wizard, you need some sorcery when you're going against this young buck. Talk about Cole Richards from Naples, Florida. Here we go, initiating Cole Richards. That Richards Racing 86. Look how high he is on the bank. You cannot tell that he has a broken part at all. Borrows one from Bakchis and sends it. So he is full on open to that tank of nitrous across that power alley. Andy Hateley struggling to keep with them as he rips in, and there goes Andy Hateley, the Drift Wizard. Uses the sorcery to get to the side, but Cole Richards absolutely unhinged, going for it right now.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that is such a quick run. He absolutely crushed it out there in the lead. Gets into the zone, fires off, and does a great job of holding that all the way through. Andy Hateley takes him a second to really kind of find his pace in it to try and get into the best spot of Cole Richards. But Cole just, he hasn't changed from practice to qualifying or anything else. It seems like it's the same setup, same driver. All they've done is like fuel and tires at this point. And he's doing such a phenomenal job. And I think maybe that mentality of just keep it simple and go run your race has been really, really successful for him. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change anything about it. Andy Hateley in the chase, he's does a great job getting back into the pocket by outside zone 4, but yeah, it's a really, really quick car for Cole Richards. The hard part now is going to be keeping up with Andy and trying to maintain your proximity without kind of running over the side of him.
Yeah, it's hard to dial it back when you're full on and you kind of have to temper that flame. You don't want to kind of burn the meatloaf. So here we go, Andy Hateley out front in that Drift Wizard BMW. So here it is, he has to dial it back. But Andy Hateley putting on a solid lead run there. The Kumo tires gripping up and shooting through that power alley. Cole Richards jumps up and cuts through that smoke again. Andy Hateley deep into that outside zone, and Cole Richards mimics that. He's got that Street Hunters design body kit. I know my man TJ Hunt, keep moving forward, and that's exactly what Cole Richards would like to do. You saw that bumper, ejecto bumper through that power alley.
Yeah, it looks like for Andy Hateley, it's kind of a slower approach to get into the zone, and Cole was maybe expecting him to really, really dive in there, and it doesn't quite happen. But yeah, Cole just doesn't really get settled in the chase. It takes him a minute. Well, it takes him most of the run before he really gets into the side of Andy Hateley, and by then the run's pretty much over. So it could be that case of the young bull versus the old bull. Yep. Andy Hateley just going, yep, I'm going to run my race at my pace, and it's your job to hang with me. So great run there from Andy Hateley. Both these drivers, I mean, just coming to the plate in their lead runs, but struggling a little bit more in the chase. So we'll see how the judges kind of take all of that into account. I would say they want both of them to clean things up in their chase runs, but lead run wise, it's very, very solid.
Absolutely. Let's see what transpires here. Again, some points of opportunity, and I really don't think the knowledge of people knowing that Cole is maybe down or hurt, has an impairment. I don't think that really benefits or hurts him.
Yeah.
Outside of just the car.
Yeah, I mean, off the top, it looks like Andy's just much closer through the first outside zone. So I'd say point Andy there. Their lead runs seem very, very comparable. Coming through the inside, everything back and forth looks pretty close. And then Andy starts to close the gap up again. Just chase alone, and when we look at proximity, I would tip my hat a bit more towards Andy at this point. But leads-wise, maybe Cole's got a bit more of an advantage.
There's Andy waving to family and friends across the world, fans with their Drift Wizard hats.
I was gonna say the cone heads.
The cone heads. Yeah, I've seen a few out here. Seeing again, a lot of DR fans out there. A lot of fans cheering on Jonathan Castro from the Dominican Republic, and the judges still scrutinizing.
This is tough. It's really tough.
Racing. Cole Richards, Andy Hateley left for Richards, right for Hateley, and Hateley gets 1 vote. Cole gets 1 vote, and a one more time split decision across the board. So again, 1-1 and none.
The old natural split. I get it.
Yeah. Again, that shows you that they are focusing on maybe a particular area or a particular section or something that somebody did better than the other or less than.
Yeah.
All right, so one more times here, and I'm loving the flow of the track. It's really simple. I say simple by, comparatively to some of the other dynamic courses, if it is Atlanta or if it is Seattle, but again, I think it's great. So here we go, Matt Field, Connor O'Sullivan. This should be a great one. Connor O'Sullivan debuting a new vehicle, looks like you said, Jacob, looks very comparable to his previous build, but it is a brand new build. And then Matt Field, very little sleep for his team. They had said new head gaskets overnight, so a lot of work, and hopefully everything stays together for that boiler performance. Drift Cave Corvette, the heat wave on the hood and on and under that helmet. Matt Field, the beast of the bay, and look at O'Sullivan right there to the side of the Corvette. The BMW tucks in nicely. Whoa, comes out hot, but Matt Field stays in at the beast of the bay, strikes back and keeps it pinned. Pin it to win it, baby.
That's
banging doors and hitting the floors. Yes, sir.
That's what we want in a battle. Like if you're gonna make contact, stay in it. Put your foot down. Absolutely drive through it. And I think it's possible O'Sully might have to take a quick look at the suspension on that one. But right off the bat, Matt Field very smooth to get out to that first outside zone. I love the way he floated the car out. And O'Sully's already on him. I think he might have had a door touch there. That comes out, a bit more of a midline. Man, that transition was nasty. Takes a second there for Matt Field to get back on throttle. So there's a little bit of a decel zone allowed midway through. So they'll be taking a look at that to potentially find some sort of fault. But I think this is going to fall under the rule of contact without an incomplete, which gives both drivers a kind of a free 5 minute. This doesn't affect the 5 minute they've got for their allotment. They're allowed to just go take a look at their cars. If they need to put hands on it, they can, and there's no penalty to it. And this just allows us to make sure the battle keeps going. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit more toe out on O'Sully's car than maybe you started with.
Telemetry. This is going to show you, again, the green means they're accelerating, the red means decel, and you could see kind of like a video game, accel, decel a little bit, and you are allowed a little decel there.
Yeah, so it's going to be that spot right there where Matt Field slows down a little bit. There is that bit of decel as we saw on the track map previous that is allowed. So we'll see how that all gets interpreted. But yeah, we are getting confirmed they are getting their free fives. So they're going to get a few minutes to get hands on that. I think O'Sully, it looked like that car was maybe a bit towed out more than it should have been. But able to battle through it, so yeah, fun run.
The drift whiskers of O'Sully allowing him to transition. The bumper gets ripped off and then regains that composure. But like you said, great job by Matt Field and O'Sullivan. So they'll get hands on the car, assess it. Again, we still have the second half of that. Let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette, what you got cooking outside of the weather?
Well, there's so many sacrifices that go into being a professional athlete, and one of those things is that his 6-year-old, Jonathan Castro, your 6-year-old, is graduating today. How proud are you of what she's accomplishing?
Yeah, I'm really proud to see Lucia going, being big now, big baby girl. Jonathan also 10 years old, so for me, those are my pride. I love them. I wish I'd be there. I'm here working, sorry, and I really miss you guys, Monica, Lucia, Jonathan. I know you guys are doing great and you're having a good time, and yeah, so proud about it. So proud to be able to bring those humans and be such a nice person, such a beautiful soul, and I know they're gonna do really well in life.
Absolutely, and Jonathan wearing so many hats as a driver, team manager, daddy, yeah, and good things happening. We're gonna see you in top 16.
Yes, thank you. See you guys, and see you top 16. Lucia, Jonathan, Monica, te amo.
much love to Castro and the Castro family. We've seen Castro over here for so many years, and pre-kids, now 2 kids. Definitely a proud husband and father. So thank you for spending your time with us here, Jonathan. And we know that you love this track as well. All right, the second one more time. So they battled once, they battled twice, and now this is a third time to see if we have a victor between Ireland's own Jack Shanahan, that Pulsar Turbo Systems BMW, and the Coilover Depot S chassis. Come on, boys, throwing down to the line. Who's moving on to 16? Jack Shanahan go ahead and initiates, and Derek Madison, there we go. That's what we're looking for. But a little too aggressive. That tire bumps off the bumper, but no big deal. Madison continues on. Oh, he takes it out. Oh, straightens out. So again, Jack Shanahan continues on at pace. Looks like D-Mads, again, might have broken a suspension bit or something, but he got really aggressive on initiation, tried to tuck in. Is that a belt on the ground, or is that just a bash bar?
It does look like a belt. Yeah.
Might have thrown a supercharger belt or something.
Yeah, so he does have an incomplete with contact, so if he wants to get hands on the car, that is a belt.
Well, have they deemed fault?
No, not as of yet. But either way, he would need some sort of timeout, whether it's his or Jack's. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're going to take a look and see if Jack is like unnecessarily slowing. You're going to have little spots here and there where the acceleration might slow down, or just a driver touching a bit of left foot brake. But if there's like a prolonged or a visual decel where there shouldn't be, and then Derek makes contact, then that would go towards Derek. If it's just Jack is on his line making small adjustments, Derek just gets too aggressive, then it's Derek's fault. So that's how the judges will deem it. We'll get word back here in a moment as to what way that's going to go. But either way, Derek's got to get some hands on his car.
Yeah, and obviously that is less than ideal, something that should be under the hood. And the judges are saying that Derek Madison is at fault. So too aggressive, he would need to call a competition timeout to get hands on the car. And this is what he needed to do. Just step up and just push too hard.
But it's just a little bit over the edge is the issue. Just went just a touch too far. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of one of those learning things, right? So tough go for Derek Madison. It really seemed like he was on top. But the battle's not over. He's got one more battle in the pits, and then another battle to face off against Jack Shannon. But we move on to Ryan Litteral versus Adam LZ. This is going to be another fun one. Litteral in practice had some crazy chase runs.
All right, well, again, arguably one of the most popular drivers in Formula Drift competition and in the automotive dialogue. Adam LZ going against Ryan Litteral. Ryan Litteral notably flies that RB flag, talking about the motor under the hood of his Nissan. And Adam LZ with this BMW, again, one of the highest finishing American pilots last year in that Drift HQ BMW E36 campaign, his own vehicle. So this is definitely a track that he's familiar with, so expect a big gangster initiation, and he does exactly that. Ryan Litteral needs to work his way. He definitely has the proximity, and drops it in, is mimicking that angle as Adam puts his car in the right place. Now transitions through that power alley. Ryan Litteral lost in the sauce there in that back, and goes up on the bank. Adam right there in the crease, right in the pocket. Nice job by Adam LZ up front. Quick work by Adam.
Yeah, very stable all the way through. So see here, good initiation, like a snappy flick there to get into that first outside zone. Ryan Litteral on that much lower line and just trying to find the pace and match it in the very quick BMW. You know, Adam's car is one of the fastest ones out here. And then it looks like Adam washes a little bit wide and Litteral washes even wider. And it seems like just Adam kind of coming through a midline on zone 3 is what ended up causing that. But either way, Litteral's got to still adapt coming through that section. So see here through 2, Adam's in a good spot, holds a transition maybe a touch too long. So Adam starts to wash a little bit wide and is able to gather things a little bit quicker, but Litteral unfortunately goes pretty far off, and then at that point in time, it's just keeping an eye on that BMW as it starts to speed away.
Yeah, that was, again, this is, Ryan Litteral is definitely going to need to put down a heater of a lead run in order to contrast just that chase position. Just didn't have the car in the right place. Adam knows his track very well. The car is firing right now. So again, Ryan's running very consistent. He's driving aggressively, but just some simple mistakes just totally disrupted that chase run. So hopefully he can dial it in, focus, and put down a lead run. He's gonna need to force an error to Adam LZ in that chase position, comparable, or let's just call it what it is, even worse than some of those minimal mistakes that he made. Here we go, Ryan Litteral, the NRG Innovations S chassis. Ryan does it, he goes up, high on the bank. Adam LZ, maybe give him a little bit of room, strategy, TBD. That FD going through and into that first inside zone. Adam cuts through that smoke, straightens out, a big correction there from Adam. He hits dead nuts onto that second inside zone, and Litteral, you can hear him mashing the throttle across the finish line. Adam just shut it down, saying, all right, I'll let you go. I'll let you cook, homeboy.
Yeah, I think it's a case for Adam of making sure you're maintaining a solid chase without having to overcommit at any point in time with the large mistake that we saw from Ryan Litteral. But Litteral's line out front looks really, really good. Actually had a better zone 1 than Adam did, just kind of giving you an idea of how solid that lead run is. And yeah, I mean, actual stats-wise, when we start looking at these zones, Ryan Litteral's lead run is absolutely phenomenal. More angled, but it's going to be that big mistake that happened in the chase that's probably going to be the determining factor in how this all plays out. So, I mean, there's some argument that could be made that Adam let him off. There's also the responsibility of the chase to be able to make the right call, and judges coming in.
And there it is, Adam LZ unanimously gets the win. Adam LZ advances on. Ryan Litteral just had too many mistakes there, and unfortunately is knocked out. But we'll see Ryan at our next round of Formula Drift competition. And
lots of smoke pouring in.
Yeah. All right, so we are finding out from Lorette that she's letting us know no real damage, some small adjustments to the toe, and then we're talking about the contact between O'Sullivan and Field.
It looks like, yeah, Derek Madison, I got an update on him. He did throw that belt, so that was his sitting out on track. So getting updates on all these cars in pits.
And also what's crazy is it's windy. The flags are blown, but the smoke is lingering, like in the Coliseum. It's like there's kind of a vortex in the middle of the track.
Yeah, just racetrack things.
Right?
Yeah.
Orlando things.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the second run between O'Sullivan and Field. O'Sullivan will now lead. Matt Field will chase him down. O'Sullivan in that United States Army BMW, and Matt Field in the Boiler Performance Heatwave Tire Agent Corvette. Okay, so again, Connor O'Sullivan. So too aggressive on initiation. Watch this. And he transitions, and boom, right there.
I love they both stayed in it though. Like, just fierce competitors. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're gonna make contact, just put your foot down.
Yeah. I always love that attitude. And, you know, we always reference the flop, right? In soccer or in basketball, it's a notorious thing. So I like it when the Gladiators stay in it, man. Take it on the chin and keep on getting the win. Here we go. O'Sullivan initiates. You see him. Maybe he had some corrections that weren't exactly. You saw some wavering with those front wheels. Again, debuting a new car and just breaking it in properly. Coming through on those inside zones. Lunging forward is that Boiler Performance Corvette. Now into the crease goes O'Sully, and Matt Field, he is right there. Riding shotgun with O'Sullivan.
It's interesting with O'Sully with the bumper off. You can really tell everything that's going on with the angle kit on the car. It does seem like he is still fighting something. You can see him having to worm that car back and forth. And I mean, it's everything's really, really stout on it. But either way, an impact like that is going to jar some things around. And I'm wondering if that's what's going on. Matt Field does an amazing job of adapting. Still keeps a ton of proximity. And with one of our other camera angles, you were able to see everything O'Sully was doing, how it was playing into the wheels. But either way, we got a judge's call.
And here it is, slide him left for Matt Field, the beast from the Bay. The Drift Cave head caveman gets the win. And Lorette Nickel is with legendary Adam LZ.
I am with Adam LZ. And Adam, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that last battle.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're moving into the top 16. I just needed to play it smart. It's exactly what I did. Did what I had to do.
car handling as you expected?
Yeah, car's good. We go back and forth with, we had the car really free at first, then we made it fast, then we made it free again. We can't really make up our mind, but what we did seems to work, so yeah.
All right, adjustments on the fly. Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorette. Thank you, Adam. Free, fast?
Yeah.
Fast and free?
Fast and free. America.
Yeah. Free and fast. Come on down. Adam LZ's crazy. All right. Fast and free. And we are going to the one more time battle. We're kind of bouncing around here because remember we have the second one more time, the third battle between D-Mads and Shanahan, but they had that contact. D-Mads was at fault. They got their vehicle, but correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, just keep me honest here. The one more time battle between Hateley and Cole Richards.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Just to make sure.
A lot going on. It's a lot, dude.
Like
We're juggling.
Bouncing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are Cirque du Soleil right now. We are just tap dancing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They both need to, I think, clean up a little bit on their chases. Yep. I did get word that Cole had a bit of an edge on his lead, and then Andy a bit of an edge on his chase.
All right. Thanks for the insight. Here we go. Cole Richards out front. Cole Richards initiating. Good, solid, high on the bank. Andy Hateley, good proximity, but lower. Not as good mimicking as far as the angle. Now coming through that power alley, past that inside zone. Some corrections by both the drivers. Hateley maybe down on power by comparison. And we talked about Cole Richards at the top of the first battle. Comes unwound really quick.
Yeah.
He said had some broken parts, but trying to figure it out.
I think some of it is tire wear. There's a lot of conversation, and we haven't really gotten into it, but when you're leading first, you're going to eat through a ton of tire. And if you're chasing first, you've got the fresher rubber under the car, so you can be a little bit more aggressive in the chase. Everything's a little bit more responsive. I think for Cole, shutting it down that early, it could just be tire preservation, where it's just like, no, as soon as you come across the line, shut it down. Don't drift anymore. Save as much as you can, because an extra 10
strategy.
feet. Yeah, an extra 10 feet of drifting could be that 10 feet you're missing on your run.
Right.
Cole, solid lead run once again. Andy struggling a little bit more on his chase on this one, as it looks like Mr. Sopa getting those zip ties underway. Little field repair. I don't think either of them would mind. Let the cars cool down a little bit.
Yeah, and we saw on that first battle, Hateley lost his bumper, got into Cole Richards' front end, but unfortunately didn't affect the outcome of that. Now here we go, Andy Hateley out front, Cole Richards in that chase position. Let's see what Andy Hateley can do across the nose of Cole Richards. Initiating goes Hateley. Cole give himself a little bit of a buffer when it comes to the slow dance, not going for the mosh pit, leaving a little bit of room for some smoke. Now going to that last outside zone. Cole now surging. That's a good strategy, just slowly inching and saying, hey, I have the confidence, I have the car, and now I think that's really going to seal the deal, just given by comparison with my naked eye.
Yeah. Cole is pretty smart with this, and he has a really good launch, gets out of the gate pretty quick. Cole does take a fair bit of time to gain that proximity. He's on that lower line pretty much the whole way through. And if I remember correctly, Andy got up there a little bit earlier on, so that's going to be a bit of an advantage towards Andy Hateley. But through outside zone 4, Cole Richards is just all over him. So that might be where he makes up the rest of this. You can see Cole has to grab a bit of handbrake on initiation, then has to make his way up. So we can start to see the lead line scores coming through. Once again, this coming off the Wally system. Just a little bit of information for you, but Wally is not making the decisions here. Still a judge call. So I think, once again, lead-wise, yeah, it's, I mean, from the data, it looks like it might be leaning a bit more towards Cole, but we'll see what the judges say. Andy hopping out, let that long hair fly.
There we go, slide him left for Cole Richards, right for Andy Hateley. And there it goes. Cole Richards gets the win after a one more time battle. Andy Hateley is knocked out. All right, so there you have it for these two gentlemen. All right, making our way through top 32. We still have that second battle of Shanahan and Derek Madison, and now we got that of James Deane and Connor Shanahan. Man, his brother's been doing battle over here. We finally get over to other Shanahan, and this was a must-watch when the brackets got dropped. This is a finals battle we've seen before, and now it's already in 32. So again, 2 Irish drivers, 2 champions, and again, we know what to expect here. James Deane and Connor Shanahan. Connor Shanahan with such great victory overseas and here in the States. James Deane, of course, unarguably one of the best drivers in the world, and now a little bit of rain comes down. Why not? You know, Irish, you know, they know how to drive in the wet, so let's get a little sprinkle here going and just shake things up a little bit. So, locked and loaded, you see the cars, the attitude. This might add a whole nother variable and cog in the machine. Speaking of the machine, here goes James the Machine Deane. Initiated into the bank goes James Connor Shanahan. In tow! Nice initiation by both of them. Great proximity. Tucked right there in the pocket of that right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Transition through the power alley. Both these guys in their right-hand drive vehicles. And now Connor, he's riding shotgun with the RTR Mustang. Now bringing it on home with the Penzo O'Reilly Ford Racing Ford Mustang. Crosses the finish line, and Connor Shanahan and his Red Bull Jerry Yang Racing and Juga Racing 86.
Yeah, finals level battle. It's a reflection of finals in 2024 once again. Connor got the win there, but is he going to get it today? It's a tough call. James Deane is absolutely on it in the lead. This is exactly what you would expect from James the Machine Deane, but Connor Shanahan doing a great job in the chase, and he lines up, he mimics so well. He does have that little bit of a tire advantage, being able to chase first on that fresh rubber. The RTRs are so fast, so I mean, I do think qualifying a little bit lower has played into his hands quite well. Although, I mean, it's a tough say whether or not you want to face James Deane this early. For the championship, this is exactly what you want, but for your weekend, it may not be. And here you go. This is what the Wally is looking at, and you can see just how close it is. So Connor Shanahan, he is within 3 feet pretty much the whole way through that section, backs off a little bit through transition, then goes back out through that dive. Man, absolutely crazy, but we'll swap him around and see what James can do in the chase.
Yeah, we saw just as they were pulling to the start line, some of the fans breaking out the umbrella, but just like that, it quickly stopped, so that is a sign of a good time. Connor Shanahan out front, James Deane in the chase position. James Deane tipped the tail right there. Look at this, like 2 absolute gunners coming down and slamming in that transition. Connor Shanahan, you can see him left foot braking, locking up that wheel, and James Deane goes to the door, sticks it to him, showing you why he is your defending and only 5-time Formula 2 champion.
Man.
This is exactly what we expected and anticipated, and they delivered a big package on your front doorstep. There you go, kids.
Wow.
Wow.
Absolute treat to get to see drifting like this early on. James does such an incredible job of mimicking what's going on, and you can see just how close he gets to Connor all the way through this. Connor trying to find that balance between angle and speed, and you know, you're not going to shake off James Deane, so sometimes you just got to hang it way out there and try and beat him that way, but I think it might come down to this 4th outside zone. James is undeniably close the whole way through. Look at both their proximity scores come out to 100. That means they spent their entire run within a meter of each other.
Oh my God.
That is insane.
100. Oh my God. Say that again.
100.
100% for both of them. That means they were within a meter of each other in the chase run, within 3 feet the entirety of the run.
Yeah. That's what you would expect. So it's a tough call.
Fight.
Yeah, right. This has just massive championship implications right now, though.
Yep.
This is huge.
All right, slide him left or slide him right. James Deane gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and 3 votes. And just like that, our points leader is knocked out. And he knows what was at stake. He knows who he's going against. Round of applause for Connor Shanahan and your winner, James Deane. Just like that in 32.
Yeah.
Connor gutted, but he knows who he's going against. Nothing but love and respect across the aisle here for these 2 legends of the sport. When we come back, more drifting action. It's going to be hard-pressed to beat that battle right out of the gate, but I guarantee it will get gnarlier, nastier here in Orlando.
Tough,
dirty hands aren't always washed at the shop or in the garage. Fast Orange heavy-duty foaming cleans the toughest dirt and grime. It's perfect for any sink, even the one in your kitchen or bathroom. Fast Orange heavy-duty foaming hand cleaner with enhanced cleaning power and a citrus scent.
So それは国境を越えて時代やメーカーを超えて趣味思考すらも超えて車を愛する人たちをつなぐものつなぐ感情レイス
Richards is doing the dang thing, and that number 2 qualifier, top rookie in the field, also moving to top 16, but it wasn't without some scary moments. Yeah. Cole, what happened?
So our last lap, we found a broken push rod in cylinder 7, I believe. And a huge thank you to Chen Beechum to allow us to have one of his, and the boys put it back in the motor, now it works, so we're good. But it's not the proper one, I guess. Yeah. So we're having some issues here, but we're getting by with the best that we have. So it's going good.
Yeah, incredible. And this is your first time competing in Orlando, and as you told me, you've been out here twice before on your own accord. How are you dealing with the outside bank?
Yeah, the bank is really fun. I mean, I think my favorite track is Long Beach with walls. It's a very aggressive track, and you have to drive it very aggressively, and it's something that you have to have like trust in yourself before you can have trust in driving the car, right? So I find it really fun. I know we have to clean up in a few sections, so we're working on that now, and we'll get ready for top 16 shortly.
Okay, that's it exactly. We're going to see Cole Richards in top 16 coming up.
Thank you, Lorette, and congratulations, Cole Richards, as we move on to the second half of this one more time battle. Not once, not twice, but thrice, as we are seeing, again, the second half of this battle, because, again, D-Mad's got to the side of Jack Shanahan on the bank, and now Jack Shanahan maybe playing a little strategy here, but nah, Jack's just going to let it all hang out here across that power alley. Pulsar BMW, and again, you can see D-Mads, look at that suspension, doing double time there across the finish line. Well done by Derek Madison, but I think it might be a little too much, too late, taking that hit, or Jack taking the hit after D-Mads, but good driving.
Yeah, great driving from both of them. Derek, I mean, phenomenal lead run out here. It's tough when you know you're at that deficit, but Derek has kind of consistently shown that you put pressure on him, and he does an amazing job. So, yeah, I'm really happy to see how he's developed as a driver. Jack, a little bit more of a tepid approach just to make sure he gets through the run, gets that active chase down. He knows he would have been told already that he wasn't at fault for the accident, so you can be a bit more subdued in your activities in the chase. But I think Jack's got to find a bit more speed. If he gets this win officially, he's going to be going up against Castro. Castro's been quick. His proximity's insane, so Jack's really got to step things up.
Yep, as they step outside of their cars, just 3 battles between them, and eventually Jack Shanahan gets the victory. Jack Shanahan from Ireland gets the win over Derek Madison, D-Mats, we'll see you at our next stop, homeboy, the Coilover Depot S chassis. Sign of a good time. We'll see you over there and play some cornhole or something later on. But Derek Madison firing up some brewskis and some broskies later on as we are officially 3/4 of the way completed with our top 32. And this is how the top 16 shaping up. Forsberg versus Gushi, Brandon Sorensen versus Masuyama, Shanahan versus Castro, Burkett versus Bakchis, Richards versus Field, Adam LZ, and a little bit of a grudge match here. Talking about Rudy Hansen had Frederick Aasbo's number. He called all the way to Norway and says, I got you, bro. And Aasbo's going to try to get it back against Rudy Hansen, that took him out early in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're 1-1 right now, so we'll see how this plays out. I mean, Frederick Aasbo was the fastest average driver on track in practice. So he's about 1.5 miles faster than anybody else, but over the period of an entire run, that's a pretty big gap. So Rudy Hansen's got to find a lot of grip in this. Look at the overall matches. That's from 2020 until now, kind of our current era, if you will. Yeah, if you break
modern era
of drifting.
Rockstar energy drink, Toyota GR Supra. You see the attitude of the car, locked in. And Rudy Hansen, let's see, he knows who he's going against. 3-time champ. Frederick Aasbo, the Norwegian hammer, drops the hammer. Rudy Hansen needs to work his way up. And now just slingshots off of that bank into the power alley. Hansen on the wrong side of that cliff. And just a little wonky in that chase position. Rudy just getting a little bit phased there against this giant of the sport.
Yeah, Frederick Aasbo, he's back on it. He ran his lap, did not care who was following behind. You know, forgot about Atlanta, just went for it. This is very kind of robotic of Aasbo that we saw from years previous. Knows exactly what that line is, absolutely crushes it, great transitions, gets it done early, floats that car out to zone 3, gets it lined up very, very early for zone 4. We have pushed that zone back further than previous years, like it starts a little bit later than previous years, and it does. We talked about the flow. The way that we've moved all these zones around, I do agree, this is the best layout we've had in Orlando. It's smooth, there's not a big drag race in the middle anymore.
Yeah.
We're avoiding that jump that was there. Remember that
It's
years
flowing.
ago?
It's really flowing.
It's smooth, it seems natural, the arcs are there, it's just a really, really good layout.
Yeah, it's simple, it's easy to digest. Again, 2 outside zones, 2 inside zones. Like you said, the power alley, avoiding the jump, which was so violent. You know, the transition going from the bank to the flat, it's not playing a major role. It still exists, but here we go. Rudy Hansen out front. Rudy Hansen, he initiates, he's lower on the bank. That allows Frederick Aasbo. You think he'd kind of phone it in, talking about calling him and saying, I got your number, but Frederick Aasbo, watch him, just gain some ground right here. This just shows you how much horsepower he's got. He drops into that Hansen pocket, and that's going to be, unfortunately, all she wrote for Rudy Hansen. Just showing you, you know, hey, Atlanta might have been a fluke, but we know how talented Rudy Hansen is. I love the attitude of him and his lovely lady, and let's take a look.
Yeah, he's progressing as well as a driver. It is that big step up, so it definitely needs to be a lot deeper through zone 1, but through our inner zones, Rudy does a pretty good job. And then Frederick Aasbo, yeah, Aasbo was closer than he needed to be in full transparency, but he didn't want to leave anything up to the judges. You know, they talk about it in combat sports, like never leave it in the hands of the judges, make it definitive, and that's really what Frederick Aasbo was aiming for there. He wanted to make sure that there was no discussion, no controversy. He was going to get the win.
All right, let's make it official. Frederick, the Norwegian hammer Aasbo, and the Rockstar energy drink Toyota GR Supra gets the victory, as the red nickel is with the very happy. But how is he feeling taking out Connor so early, Lorette?
Very, very happy. Guys, he had to start at 100. And James, what does that do for the rest of your day when you have to start at that high level?
It's amazing. You know, driving with Connor firstly, there's no other choice. Every time you drive with Connor or Jack, it's 100%. But to do it in top 32 is not the ideal weekend plan. But I knew that it was going to be an all-out dogfight. He was incredible to drive with, and I just tried to be as good as I could and push the limits and take risks. It all worked out. I don't even know who I'm battling yet. You know, I didn't even look at it because I was just so focused on driving with Connor from when we found out last night that I put every last piece of energy I had into it. But Ford Mustang RTR is killing it, and let's hope we can keep it going.
Yeah, well, James Deane saying he has to take big risk against Connor Shanahan, who moves into the top 16.
All right, here we go. The Fleshlight Penthouse BMW Clonex. Nate Chen chasing him down. Trying to get into that pocket. Oh, and a little bash in.
All right.
You saw some tapping there as Chen gets to the side and bangs away on that door. And it looks like looks like he hit his wheel back. What would that be? Back driver's side?
Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes you can tell like the car will start moving weird or tires start skipping if the toe is really banged out of place. But right now, Trent Beechum, first outside zone, looking good. Chen on a slightly shallower line and has to try and surge, and he goes for it right here. Gets caught up just a little bit. Beechum coming around, looking pretty good. Oh, so this is really where.
Let's look at Wally.
Yeah, that's where the Wally system's going to come into play. For half a second, it looked like Beechum was checking up, and you can see the smoke. I don't know. It's tough, and this is where it gets a little bit deceiving. We have so many different camera angles, and one might tell one story, one might tell another. But this is really what we're going to see. So we're going to keep an eye out here and check for Beechum and see what happens. Ooh, interesting going on there. So it does look like Beechum does go red just a little bit before that contact. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. Going for a 360 there.
Where's Wally?
Yeah, so we're waiting to hear about fault on this one. They're going to take a look a little bit more and potentially check some of the replays to really understand how that all plays out. But both of them right now are heading back to the pits to find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, waiting to define fault. You can see Beechum making his way back, and just a few spots away from each other is Nate Chen's vehicle, operated by in conjunction with Jerry Yang Racing.
So we're hearing over the headphones, looks like Nate Chen would be getting fault there because there would have been no major visible slowdown from Trent and Beechum, and Nate Chen on a tighter line coming through. Yeah, I see it. Beechum is starting to get that car set up for the outside zone 4, and Chen on a tighter line punching through. So that's what they're going for fault. So you'll have to use this 5 minutes if he wants to, but Beechum's going to get a free 10.
Well, right now it is Dylan Hughes and Diego Higa, the battle of the DHs. Dylan Hughes, that Permatex BMW. Diego Higa has got a lot of fans here in the building and online cheering him on from Brazil. Dylan Hughes, good angle, high on the bank. Diego Higa, just a little bit volatile in that chase position. And Diego Higa, look at him transition. That was so aggressive. When he came across that power alley into that second inside zone. I mean, Diego looks so volatile in the chase, not as fluid as we've seen from Long Beach to now. Let's take a look at it here again.
Yeah, it's not a great start for Higa, but for Dylan Hughes, it's phenomenal. He had the fastest entry we saw in practice, up to 67 miles an hour before he threw the car sideways. So we know he can launch out of the gate really quick. He finds a lot of grip that way. And unfortunately for Higa, he's kind of fighting the car. Well, not kind of, he is. He's fighting that car pretty much all the way around the track. But for Dylan Hughes, the setup looks good. I guess those checkered pants are working for them. So whatever's going on, whatever new luck they found, Dylan Hughes looks really, really good. I mean, he is a past winner here, and we know he can drive here in the rain as well. Hopefully we doesn't have to bring that out. But
keep the R word out of your mouth.
All right, we'll do it. But Higa, he's got to step up big here. This has got to be a solid lead run.
And just as you say that, the rain comes. Here we go. Diego Higa will lead Dylan Hughes, chasing him down. And again, I would love to. Oh, and Diego gets into a little tussle with the wall that allows Dylan Hughes. Look at how just steady Eddie both of them are now in the lead. But Dylan, really good job chasing him down, gives himself some room or has to fall back a little bit. But yeah, so seeing Dylan in this chase position with such confidence, I have to say that just showed a horsepower discrepancy. You know, because Dylan, you could just see how he gave him some distance but caught up to him really quick.
Well, it may not even be the horsepower. It's just getting the car set up for the grip level and finding a really nice wheel speed and a really nice setup in the car, so that way when you want power, when you want speed, when you want grip, it's on tap and you know how to get to it. Because, yeah, Dylan Hughes outside of the zones, that's where he makes up ground, and that's where you should be doing it as well. You know, when you get into the zone, you should be pretty much locked in and holding ground. But in between the zones, Dylan's able to really close the gap.
All right, here we go. Slide him left for Dylan and right for Diego Higa, and Dylan Hughes gets the win. Diego Higa, unfortunately, knocked out in top 32. So, again, a hard-fought battle, but hold your head high, Diego, and we will see you in our next round of competition as Dylan Hughes advances on the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. Coming out into the start line, scrubbing the tires, the Penthouse FL Pro, Katana Wheels BMW, Clonex, and Nate Chen, purging the nitrous, pulling to the line. So Nate Chen was at fault, causing the accident, and more rain coming down, and feverishly the fans putting up their umbrellas and putting on their ponchos. Sight lap. They are giving them a sight lap. So again, given how much rain is now coming down, they're going to let them take a look at the conditions, because it's going to add a lot of slickness here just with that heat, and then you throw some rain at it, a lot of rubber. This definitely changes the dynamic of the track with one and a half battles left. 1.5 battles left.
Yeah, good math.
So again, we have the half battle of this, and then the entirety of Ryan Tuerck and TLO, Tommy Lemaire. Wow, look at that. You could visibly see on that camera shot how much rain just dumps. The sky opens up. Oh, man. Well, of course, Ryan Tuerck sponsored by Rain-X and Rockstar.
Here we go.
So is the, of course he's, it's on brand.
Yeah,
it's on
super
brand.
on brand, and hopefully he's got enough time to adjust the suspension for the rain conditions, because I can tell you right now, Nate Chen and Trent Beecham, they're on full attack mode, so this is going to be interesting.
Wow, look at that. You could just see the waves of the rain. Man, look, you can hear the rain dropping in an RF camera. Umbrellas are out. Be respectful of your fellow FD fans with your umbrellas on.
Yeah, you got room, let them underneath.
Sideways rain. Wow, this is Orlando, man. I'll tell you what, yeah, we don't want it any other way. When you come to Orlando, you never know what you're gonna get. Like I said, when it's hot, it's dry, but when it's wet, it comes down. OSW, oh yeah, baby, send it. Nate Chen, we got steam instead of smoke now. We are cooking in more ways than one. It's definitely wet out there. But that FL Pro Penthouse BMW chasing down the 86 of Nate Chen. Slow and low, that is the tempo, but definitely gonna go. In that last outside zone, Nate Chen finds that spot, and they are crawling their way through. Now keep in mind, Nate Chen was at fault with the contact earlier, so there's gonna be a bit of a deficit there from Nate Chen, and again, navigating this very difficult situation and scenarios, what we saw in qualifying yesterday as the fridge keeping it cool, sprinting across the track, looking like a real athlete here.
He is an athlete. That's pure athletic form right there. Nate Chen, he's doing a great job. All things considered, everything against him right now. Tires that are half worn after that incident, so I got to give some credit where credit's due. Nate Chen, I mean, he did not come to play. He really, really wants this win, but it's going to be tough with the deficit he's got before. Trent Beecham, though, a very methodical, well thought out approach. Doesn't overcommit at any point in time. Does just a great job of keeping that proximity as best he can, and judges are going to have this call pretty easy.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Nate Chen contact to Trent Beecham, Beecham will get the win in less than ideal conditions. Hey, Lorette, it's coming down. Cats and dogs. I know you're a big animal lover, but not the kind of cats and dogs I want to see out here.
Well, cats and dogs, yeah, and the skies just opened up in Orlando. Matt Field, what the heck is up with this weather? Everyone is asking the same question, but it turns out we know that Matt Field is from Northern California, but he's actually really well versed in driving in the rain, which I think is incredible. With the top 16, what is going to be the strategy?
We don't even know if it's still going to be wet for 16, though, right? It's rained, and then we had a dry practice directly after, so honestly, who knows what's going to happen. I think we'll figure that out in an hour and a half or whatever it might be, But we have a rain setup. We did some laps here in the rain. We're well versed in that. I do enjoy driving in the rain, absolutely. But it's a difference between rain and when the track's flooded this much. I went out on a lap yesterday and there was 10 inches of standing water and my car went to a stop coming across the inner zone. So it's crazy, but they do a pretty good job of draining this here. It just might take a little extra time. So fingers crossed it lets up and we get to go drift.
When things are that chaotic, what do you rely on?
I try to just lean into my skill. Just remember, I have the skill set. I've worked really hard. I practice a lot. I come into these rounds as prepared as humanly possible. So even though this is all unexpected, whatever happens to the car could be unexpected. The only thing I do is lean into the skill that you have, trust that it's there, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you hit a big old puddle and spin out, but we'll see what happens. I think either way, the GT Radial is obviously the tire to be on, including in the rain especially. Look, we're getting flooded here. My racing shoes are getting wet, guys.
Guys, I am, wow, we are both standing in a river of water right now, and Matt gaining a little bit of height, but yeah, there is water running through the pits right now. What a wild one.
What happens for top 16? But either way, we're gonna be ready. We're halfway through the bracket, so we'll at least be able to watch those guys figure out the track, and we'll go out and do our best.
Matt, thanks so much.
All right, well, thank you so much, as Matt Field will be going against Cole Richards. And again, he's got a little bit of a little cough as, dude, it just dumped, and just like that, the rain's over. So we got one battle left, and we are hearing that TLO, Tommy Lemaire, called the competition timeout. What's going on? Well, we'll find out, and hopefully we'll find out when we come back who's going to come out on top. Ryan Tuerck and Tommy Lemaire. As quickly as the umbrellas came out, they go back into their sleeves, but we will find out. One more battle left in our Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32, and it's a Rockstar pilot of Ryan Tuerck. And of course, it wouldn't be Florida if we didn't have a little bit of rain, as we can see our cell here coming across Orlando and Orlando Speed World. And as we are, again, you can see it right there. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. The weather's shifting here and there and everywhere. More Top 32. One more battle left to find out who will be joining the Top 16. Tommy Lemaire from Canada or Ryan Tuerck from the US of A. We'll be right back.
At the limit, performance tells the truth. From the drift track to off-road, to the open road, Kenda engineers its tires where failure is not an option. Vezda Performance, Cleaver All-Terrain. One engineering standard, professional grade. From the podium to the pavement. Kenda, find your retailer at kendatire.com.
Through this lens, I catch details others might pass right by. Some might see a car. I see tuners taking care of what they love. The care poured into every engine. The trust in Pennzoil to keep it running strong. This moment, these drivers, the machine under this hood, that's what lasts.
Engine protection for the lifetime of your vehicle. Pennzoil, long may we drive. Available at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With the Canon ImageProGraph Pro 1100 professional photo printer, my images come alive in print. What I see through my lens is what you see on the wall. Vivid, detailed, and accurate.
Something has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there. Just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven. Performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2026.
I'm going to say it's the end of the beginning, or the end of this chapter
and it'll be the second chapter of my motorsports life. It's been the longest one, 20 plus years in drifting. This is going to be my last full season in Formula Drift. It's crazy to think back on it. 20 years of doing something, you don't even think about it until you start looking at all the things that you have and have saved, and you forget half the things you did save, and that just keeps bringing back more and more memories as I go through more of it. It's been a pretty wild ride the last week or so. I'm combing through all that stuff and sharing memories. I'm not done drifting, of course. I'm just done with a full-time championship schedule. I'm still gonna have a full-time motorsports schedule, but I want to give myself time to do other things. I'm still an ambitious person, and I have other goals that I want to accomplish within motorsport, and I need to give myself time to do that. Taking this leap is definitely scary. It's something I've been doing for 20 plus years, and I just want to enjoy every moment of it this year with my family away from home at Formula Drift, the teams, the crews, the drivers, the staff at Formula Drift. I mean, I've known a lot of these people for 20 plus years. It's crazy to think about it like this and make the decision to actually stop competing full time. Yeah, it's scary, but I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and seeing the fans at every stop, just being able to drive against some of the best drivers in the world again. Yeah.
Our final battle of the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32 has a gentleman that says, "This is my farewell tour. My final complete Formula Drift season will be in 2026. As he says, he begins a new chapter as he hangs up his helmet in the entirety of a Formula Drift season. It's not goodbye, it's see you later, as coincidentally, the most rain we've seen here at Top 32, and he's sponsored by Rain-X. Of course, Ryan Tuerck is known and loved and has definitely inspired a lot of drivers and drifting fans across the globe, and Tommy Lemaire, TLO, does such a good job coming to us from French Canada, as we are seeing a sight lap first, so they'll have their way with the track. Just get a little feel for it, tiptoeing through the track to see the conditions where the puddles may have accumulated and seeing the slickness or the grippiness depending on where they're at on the track. So TLO and Ryan Tuerck, our final battle of our Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. So the Rockstar Energy Drink driver makes his way through, and Tommy Lemaire, he did call that comp timeout. I think that one gave us maybe a little bit of time, two, maybe they changed setup, maybe, you know, a little unhealthy. I mean, we still haven't found out exactly what happened to Tommy Lemaire, but I think it worked out for everybody.
Yeah, I think so. It gave everybody just a second there to reset. Also gave us a little bit of time to get some drainage going. But yeah, either way, this is our last battle of the top 32, and fingers crossed it's the last we see of rain.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Tommy Lemaire pulls up to the line in that XPN Chevy Corvette. And you can see Ryan Tuerck staged, and interesting enough, Tommy Lemaire just narrowed, again, Tommy Lemaire qualified 11th, Ryan Tuerck qualified 22nd, that's why you see Ryan Tuerck. Oh, what's going on here? Was that a delay?
We got a bit of a jump start, maybe? We got a restart, okay.
Restart, so that'll be a strike for Tommy Lemaire.
Yeah, I wonder if he didn't get on.
Bad one.
That could have been a timeout where he didn't get over the line within 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what you call an icing. So you got to leave after 2 Formula Drifts. So 1 Formula Drift, 2 Formula Drifts.
Tommy
go. Anything beyond that?
Not happy right now.
Oh boy.
I'm wondering if the car is not going into gear.
Yeah, he's fighting that thing.
There it goes. All right.
Yeah. So obviously with that comp timeout, that very well might have.
Tuerck's wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
They should let Tuerck back up.
Tuerck's just gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Yep. Tuerck's gonna stay there, stay in gear. Oh.
No.
And that's another strike. What's going on here? They're calling him off.
I wonder if they just called it off because Tuerck didn't get a chance to get the car staged back up again. So he's gonna. Oh man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey!
I think Tommy's just a little frustrated, obviously, with the car right now. Trying to get it to come into gear. He wants to get set up again. Blast off the rubber. There we go.
Yeah,
should be good now.
I mean, all the elements at you. You know, you have the rain, you have the less than ideal conditions. The car's not 100, and it looks like we got a clean start. You can just see how they slip off the line, you know, all the tire debris, all that, and then the wetness, the moisture, as Tommy Lemaire throws it into the bank, and he is sticking it pretty high here. But again, this is just where you gotta, man, this is so difficult. All the nerves, all the stress as they come across that power rally, navigating it. Again, the Rain-X Toyota Corolla going through the puddles. You see Tommy Lemaire throwing up the water roost out the back, and you can hear just the throttle control. You can hear just, again, sounding like a two-stroke motorcycle. I mean, the big moto race out in Paula right now. I know a bunch of, I know Ryan's been probably watching in between. There's a huge race out in Southern California. But, man, what a change of pace, huh?
Yeah, it shows the speed difference. I mean, it almost cuts the speed completely in half. In the dry, they're doing about 60, maybe 65 miles an hour on entry. In the wet, they're only doing about 35. But there's a lot less speed.
Look at that puddles.
Yeah, it's a tough go, but they're doing a great job, both of them, just navigating around. I mean, obviously it would be great to have Tuerck pushing a little bit closer, but you're just trying to find grip anywhere at this point in time. You're just trying to, and the rain comes down again.
Dumping.
Yeah. Tommy is, oh, what a great shot. Tommy is, really cool. I think, dealing with clutch issues or something, because trying to just get it to move at all, he's running into problems.
Yeah, Tommy Lemaire, you see him go off the line. He's just jumping into it, and he's gonna not try to give Ryan Tuerck much of an inch. Ryan, just with so much experience behind the wheel over the years. Again, there are look at Tommy Lemaire not giving an inch. He is not letting Ryan Tuerck run away with it. Coming down into that power alley, now transitioning through. Tommy Lemaire did impede on that transition, so as close the proximity was, you saw Ryan Tuerck snap back, and there goes Tommy Lemaire off the course, and looks like just too slick for Tommy Lemaire. Had some, just again, the car's not 100%, unfortunately for Tommy Lemaire, and then just throw Mother Nature at it in the rain. Very unfortunate for Tommy Lemaire, but I think that's going to be all she wrote. Not the way you want to go out, but again, the car I don't think is 100.
Yeah, Tommy's frustrated. I mean, we saw it in the car, and you got to try and clear your head when you get into that mindset, and it's going to be tough. He's going to be frustrated at the training. He's going to be frustrated the car's not doing what he wants it to do, and I think that's all that happened here is Tommy he got really aggressive, and he overcommitted through there. He did impede on that transition, got the car caught up, and then it just starts to understeer. He's trying to find his way back onto track and find the right spot. But either way, that car is not 100%. And he's still a showman, though.
Yeah. Tommy, is he going to do a backflip in the rain?
Please don't.
No, oh, my God. Backflip in the rain. Yo! Tommy Lemaire, a wet flip. Oh, man. He's just shaking his head. He's like, I'm like, dude, I haven't seen a backflip in a long time. He says, you know what, maybe I'll fire one up for you. So he does it in the rain, and unfortunately the rain dance doesn't work for him, but it does work for Ryan Tuerck, who coincidentally is in the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, the Rockstar energy drink driver. Tommy, obviously frustrated. We know how talented he is, but again, less than ideal conditions. The car not 100%. He just walks off.
I'll get it later.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. The last battle of 32. That means we got an ample break in between now and later. Man, I'll tell you what, Forsberg versus Gushi, the OG since 04. Shanahan versus Castro. Hughes versus Tuerck. Yeah, Sorensen versus, I mean, all these bangers. Burkett, he needs to get that transmission fixed. Adam LZ and James Deane, former teammates, now going against each other. Aasbo, Beechum. Beechum could twist the screws on him. Cole Richards, he's down. You know, he talked about, obviously, you know, that part from his vehicle. Matt Field putting new, so
there's not a bad battle.
So many great battles and so many stories unfolding in every corner. Orlando always delivers. From the weather, the incidents, the heat, the rain, all of it. Jacob, we'll see you back here for the continuation of round 3 of the Formula J Pro Championship. Top 16. The action will continue live in full effect on Racer Plus, 8 o'clock. The car's going to be lining up, and then we have our 8 o'clock opening ceremonies for our top 16 to find out who will be the winner at round 3 of the Formula J Pro Championship. Jacob, what a 32 it's been.
It's everything you would expect from Orlando. That's what I got to say, and I'm super, super pumped for a little bit of a break and then right back into the action at 8 o'clock.
Absolutely, 8 o'clock, so local time 6:08, so just under 2 hours. Thank you to Lorette Nickel. We'll be back here in just under 2 hours. Thank you to our judges. Thank you to Wally. Thank you to Ryan Sage, president of FD, and our whole crew. Again, the continuation of round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here at Orlando Speed World. I'm Jared Nienda. We'll be back here at 8 o'clock local time. Send it!
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Hateley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving away a Maserati Thursdays in October. Play all month long for a chance to take home an elegant and powerful Italian sports car. Details at Yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. You in?
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in?
Adam LZ here to tell you that Motorsports is taking me just about everywhere. And no matter the scenario, Link ECU is the answer. The flexibility Link gives me for drifting, the precision I need on track, the durability to handle off the track, and the reliability you want in a daily driver. Even when pushing an entire motorsport to a bigger level, Link ECU has been with me every step of the way.